I don't know, show of hands, the guys that are experienced on Samsung systems? Okay. When I say experience, complete, from bottom to top, nothing in between. Okay. So as you can see by the show of hands, there's quite a few that aren't. So if we go straight into the Freedom stuff, they're just going to be lost. And one of the reasons for this was to actually get general installation procedures in place and things like that as well. So I'll be honest, I haven't prepared much on it because most of these are basic stuff. So we're going to run through it, get the installations procedures correct, how we do it, when we do it, how we run the cables, proper ways of running cables, what to watch out for, what not to do, and things like that. If, okay, these are procedures that I've developed through the years. If there is better ways of doing it, or you think there's a better way of doing it, bring it up, we'll talk about it, and we'll tell you where you're wrong. Okay, that was kind of a joke, guys. Now, let's look at it. If you have got a better way, let's discuss it and see which one is better and conform to that as a standard. Okay. Another major reason for this is we want to actually discuss the problems that you guys are having out there and see what we can do to overcome it. So what the major issues are, let's look at it, let's discuss it, and let's find a solution to it today. Okay. As you said, the Freedom install is a lot to do with SIP and IP. So before we get there, we have to know how to install the PABX properly and take it from there. So today will be more on procedures, installations, and things like that. And tomorrow we'll be hitting the Freedom stuff full out. Okay. I like an interactive audience so we can talk, discuss things, and go from there. If you're quiet, it either means you're very shy or you actually don't understand what's happening. And if you don't understand what's happening, we're not going to get anywhere. Okay, I've got a very different way of training. I don't like going through PowerPoint presentations and reading. Then I might as well have just emailed it to y'all, and y'all could have done that on your own. You wouldn't need to be here. Okay, that's, I don't know, that's what the training I've been to recently. The guy puts up a PowerPoint, reads the PowerPoint to me, and moves to the next one. And I said, okay, well, that didn't, should have just emailed me this. I could have read it on my own. So, interactive. Let's talk, let's discuss it, and let's go. Let's not make it a waste of time. If you learn nothing out of this, you'll waste a weekend. So let's make it productive. Okay, as I went across the room talking to the guys, there is a few experienced guys. There's a lot of inexperienced guys in the room. So we're going to have to go through the basics and building up from there. Okay. Any questions? As I said, I like questions. Don't wait to the end. Got a question, ask it there and then. Doesn't help we go 3 steps ahead and then we've wasted an hour and then you come with a question and we have to go an hour back. Nip it in the butt immediately. Let's get it out there, let's get it answered, and let's move on. As the saying goes, there's no stupid questions, but if you ask one, we'll tell you it's stupid and move on. Okay.
Have you got the stuff?
Yeah, that's the right one. Which stuff? Oh, yeah. Must I mail it to you? Let's just get going and we can see just now.
Send me the other
Okay. For the Freedom stuff, we've obviously got cloud-based stuff that actually is going to come to the SCM, and we've got on-site stuff. This is just about all the equipment you're going to be installing for a cloud-based system. Obviously not everything on all, but we've got all the equipment up here. We'll be logging into them, showing you how to configure and how to troubleshoot on them. The equipment that you receive should already be pre-configured. But from a maintenance perspective, if you get to site and there is a problem, you might have to start logging in and configuring the equipment. You're going to need the help from the technical department for usernames and passwords and things like that. But on initial installation, all of the equipment should be pre-configured for you. It's a matter of slapping them up, getting them working, and being out of there. A lot of the equipment should take you a couple hours at max to install. Because it's pre-configured, there shouldn't be any delays on site. So for the installation guys, do not get too scared about it. As I said, pre-configured, plug in, walk away. Okay. Just to run through the equipment, this is a PABX, for those of you all that didn't know. Sorry? No, the gray one, the blue one here next to it. Okay, that's a 7070, battery backups, switch, router boards, the LTE routers that you will be getting. Remember, these are outdoor units, so you will mount them on a pole. You'll be provided with a pole and a bracket to put them up. There's some rules and regulations we need to follow when mounting those. For instance, try to mount it above the roof line as opposed to below. Doesn't like walls in between. Okay, signal doesn't get through. When we're looking at metal roofs and things like that, try to stay away from facing it across the roof. Rather mount it on the other side where it's getting a signal out. A lot of these metal roofs will reflect light and cause problems. They heat up and so on and so on. And as I said, above the roof line, not below. We'll show you how to log onto them to confirm your signal strength, play around, and adjust it to the best possible signal that you can get. DVR, I'm sure most of you guys have installed CCTV systems in the room. We'll do a brief run through of that as well. And these are our general phones, which most of you all should know. Okay. Wireless equipment, Wi-Fi equipment. A lot of these bundles come with cell phones. So we installed WeVoIP applications on them, and they'll run through Wi-Fi devices to actually get extensions. Okay. Audio codecs box. This is an analog converter. So IP to analog converter, 2 of them. They will also be pre-configured for you. Okay, that's going to be standard cabling to a phone, whether it's a cordless, whether it's a normal analog phone sitting on a desk somewhere, fax machine, whatever the case may be. Okay, and then that's a general PoE switch. The router boards will be used for failover, where in the case you've got 2 LTEs, we generally go with a Vodacom and a Telkom. That will control the failover between the 2 of them. Okay? And yeah, that's a brief rundown of the equipment. Any questions so far? Sorry?
Maybe premature, but on the land network, are you running off a single backbone? Or?
No, when we're doing the Freedom, because we supply every unit with a switch and things like that, we run our own backbone. Okay? And most of our equipment is put on DHCP, so we don't want to interfere with the client's network.
So that's a given.
That's a given. In the rare instance where we have to, then we'll have to change our equipment programming to be non-DHCP or whatever the case may be, statically. But in our case, we want to stay away from the client's network. We don't want anything to interfere with our voice quality. So we create our own network and we run with that.
No, the only problem with that is when you've got a management system and stuff like that.
Okay, remember when you're on the offsite stuff, the management system is built into the cloud. So you don't have to worry about it. If we've got an on-site PABX, then it's a straightforward install like we normally do. We can put it into the client's range. We'll just have to change our routers to match the IPs of the client. So that's straightforward as well. But we'll go through a general install on both scenarios as well. Okay. Most of the stuff, as I said, is going to be LAN cabling. So you're looking at your Cat5, Cat6. On the instance where you've got an on-site PABX, it's going to be a 7030 or a 7070. Also, straightforward digital analog extensions. Okay, so your normal cabling for that. We'll run through a few cabling scenarios, but as I said, we're going to concentrate, and it's a lot to try to gap into a day. The experienced guys will know you're trying to do the impossible here by pushing as much as possible into 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock. You're not going to get too far, so we need to move on it. And as I said, questions, ask it so we can get it out of the way and not let it disturb us going forward. Okay, what do you guys want to start with? Any suggestions? See, this is what I was talking about. I like interaction.
Once you start to make sure everybody knows how the PABX network works,
Okay.
and we can move from there towards the LTE stuff.
Okay. As I said, the two PABXs that we are using in the Freedom scenario is your 7030 and your 7070. So I'm going to concentrate on that. I'm not going to go any further than that. For the other guys that want to actually get a little bit more information, Mia does run a T1 to T5 course that'll probably benefit you all more. Okay. Okay, your 7030 is obviously the baby of our range. It's a single cab 14 port system. You got 4 trunks on it or 2 BRI, and you've got 2 slots of 4 ports each. You can slot a DLI card, which will give you digital extensions, or an SLI card that will give you analog extensions. 2 analog extensions built on board. Everyone understand that? Easy, straightforward. Okay, as I said, the 2 cards you can put either full digital, full analog. Whatever you sell to your client will depend on what card goes in. That's the simplest one in the range. The 7070 gets a little bit more complicated. There's a lot more cards available to you. You've got PRI and things like that. But as I said, on the Freedom deals, most of your stuff is going to go onto SIP trunks. So we're not going to be using the analog ports a lot unless the client's got analog lines and wants to keep the analog lines, and all we do is we install the SIP lines as an outgoing mechanism. Okay? So in, I'd say 90% of your cases, you probably will not have any trunk ports configured on your system.
Why is it, there's always been this misconception about SIP and analog on the 7030.
Okay?
Can I have 4 analog trunks and 4 SIP on the 7030 single cap?
Yes? No reason why you won't.
On one cap,
Yeah, obviously you're going to have to license the SIP portion of it, but it'll work.
even though I have 4 DLIs and 4 analog.
Okay, you're talking about, you're not talking about SIP extensions, you're talking about SIP trunks.
Yes.
Yeah, SIP trunks.
Yes, you will.
4 SIP trunks with 4 analog trunks.
It starts affecting you on your extension side when you fully configure the cab. Then it pulls virtual ports away from the virtual extension.
Current calls.
Yes.
Yeah, so are you comfortable with having 4 analog extensions?
Mhm.
Sorry, 4 analog trunks, 4 SIP trunks, and fully configured with analog extensions? Or do you
Remember, you've got 4 MGIs on your 7030 as well.
Yeah.
You actually got 8, but you got 4 that you're going to be using in that case.
Yeah.
So your MGIs are only going to be used for your 4 SIP trunks that's there. Because your extensions are analog and digital. So it's not an IP extension that you're actually trying to make a SIP call out of that's using 2 MGI ports now. It's still using just the one because you're only using it on the trunk side.
Right, so I simply put, I can have 4 analog trunks,
Mhm.
still have 4 SIP trunks.
Yes. Okay. And they'll work concurrently. So you can have an extension on an analog and and another extension can make on the SIP. There's no issue on that at all. Okay. Anything else?
And will that double if you have a 2 cap always?
It does double up on the 2 cap system. Your MGIs go up to 8 and things like that. Okay.
I don't always know about that.
Well, actually, in my experience,
It doesn't work.
a single cab, you should actually be able to put 8 MGI licenses on it. Because remember, your processor on the second cab just becomes dead when you're expanding it. So you should actually be able to put 8 MGIs on the single cab as well.
It becomes part of the first cabinet actually.
Yeah, that's why I said the processor on the second one is actually just there for communication purposes. Okay. Okay. 7070. Are we clear on the 7030? Did anyone not understand Colin's question? Guys, like I said, if you don't talk now, SIP is one of the things that we're going to be using a lot of. Okay. 7070. Bigger configuration. Base unit comes with 4 trunks, analog trunks on it, 4 digital extensions, 8 SLTs. Okay. You have got on the base unit 2 cards expansion, and there's an expansion portion to the base unit as well that you can put 3 cards into. All of the cards on your 70 are 4-port cards, except the PRI. The PRI is a 30-channel card. It's got a dedicated slot on your 7070, so you can't put it anywhere else. 1 slot, that's where it goes, and only 1 allowed. Your other cards are all universal, so open slots, you can put it into anything. There's then, on top of that, an expansion card, which comes with 8 analog extensions on board and 3 expansion slots on it as well. So in total, 2, 5 plus the 3 gives you 8 expansion slots maximum, 16 analog, 4 trunks, 4 DLI, and whatever your expansion cards are. Do you all understand that? Okay. Again, IPs are available on it. So you've got 8 MGIs on board, licensable obviously, and similar scenario to your 7030, each slot you fill a card in takes virtual slots away. So if you've got a fully configured 7070 with cards, there is no virtual for IP extensions on there. Okay, do you all understand that? You nodding, but your nod is not fully there. Okay, virtual slots are used for the IP extensions and things like that. So you put a card in, it takes virtual extensions away. Okay. That's a brief rundown of the 2 units. Any questions on the units? As I said, I'm only covering those 2 units. It's not worth going further than that because these are the ones that we use on the bundles for now. Obviously, the installation procedures that we go through will be across the board to all the systems that we supply, but for now, we're just concentrating on these 2. Okay. Right. All of our systems come with battery backups on them, or a battery backup connector on to the unit. All of our batteries are 48 volt. Red is positive, black is negative. Try to get that right. Systems don't like it if you switch them around. Okay? They fume with smoke when you do that. Okay, so the units are wall mountable, not rack mountable, the 7030 and the 7070. 4 screws on the back, comes with a template, put the template on the wall, mark it, mount it. Okay? I prefer to always put the MDF on the right hand side, battery backup on the left hand side. Simple reason for that, there's generally a cover that sits here, I don't know where it is, which actually covers this part of it. But your cables run straight down here. If your MDF box is underneath, run straight into the MDF, all neat. Your battery backup cable, and I've seen this happen before on 7030s. The guys drill a hole here at the bottom and take the battery backup cable out. Guys, on the 7030, if you open the unit, bottom corner, there is actually a hole there for it. Samsung guys are sharp, they thought about it. They actually made a gap for you to bring it out of. Okay, so don't drill holes into the unit. Okay, on the 7070, it actually comes out on the top corner here. But if you look at the back of the unit, which is quite tight now, there is actually the grooves to run it all the way down, and it actually comes out there. So if you've got your battery backup MDF here, straight into the MDF as well. All neat and tidy. Okay. The unit looks neat like that, and there's no issues with it. I've also been told by the technical guys next door, a lot of the guys don't know how to wire an MDF or do not know how the chrono blocks work. Everybody in the room know about it? Know how to use a chrono block? Know how to cross jumper? Yes, no. Nobody's going to laugh at you all here. I know a lot of you guys are young. You all haven't had to deal with cabling like this. You all got an RJ45, and if you all don't find a hole where that fits, it's a problem. Guys, there's others. There's RJ9s, RJ11s, RJ12s. There's other sizes in that thing. It's not just the 45 that it comes with. No, I can hear by the laughter that I'm right. The younger guys do not know what cabling is. I actually spoke to a guy the other day and I said, I had a problem with NU-tone. And, what the hell is NU-tone? NU-tone is the tones that we get from Telkom. What does it do? You know the IP stuff where it actually talks to each other? Yeah, we used to talk with tones before. So now, yeah, it sends data across. But in our day, it was tones. Okay, and believe it or not, I had that problem on an SCMC. So it's on a new unit. They still do use NU tones and things like that on it. Remember, those systems still take analog extensions and they still communicate, analog trunks, and they still communicate via tones. Okay, what was I talking about? So do you want me to run through my way of laying out an MDF?
Yeah,
Okay, does anyone know what MDF means?
main distribution frame.
Thank you, main distribution frame. Okay, the way I generally set it out is the first line on the top or the first block, I generally put my Telkom lines. Whether it's analog or BRI or PRI. I put that on the first block. If you need more than one, I run it into the second block. The third block, if I can afford it, I will leave it blank, just to show a separation. As I said, if I can afford it. Sometimes the MDF does get full and you don't have the space. Use it if you have to. I then go with my digital extensions from that point. Again, after I've done my digitals, if I need more than one, use more than one. I then leave another blank. If I can afford it, then I run my analogs. Okay? That'll be your unit side complete. From the bottom going up, last block at the bottom, I'll bring my Telkom in. Okay? I don't like bringing my Telkom directly onto the system, which a lot of guys do. Okay? I'll bring it into a separate block at the bottom on the last block at the bottom. If I need more than one again, I will use the second last one as well. Then I will bring my floor plan in. Okay, and again, if you can afford, leave a space. Floor plan comes in, and then we cross jumper with preferably jumper wire. Been to a lot of sites where guys love stripping a two-pair down, and I've just got orange and blue freaking cables everywhere. Okay. I know a lot of companies don't like it, but it's nice to color code your jumpers. I use the color code of red and white for lines, blue and white for digital, black and white for analog. When you're tracing something out, you know immediately, right, red and white is my lines, digital and analog. And if you could get it through to the Telkom folks, don't plug your analog butt over the blue and white jumpers. Because then you're going to get a call from your client saying, my switch port is down, don't work.
Yeah, they tend to use blue and white on the digital stuff. So, yeah.
Then they should actually be able to identify it then. Okay.
They used to.
Yeah. No, they've gone worse than some of the private installers out there. Okay, so the reason we split that is for a technician to identify what's happening. It's easy. Also, he's not plugging his butt across everything there and bringing the client down on his digital extensions. The worst thing is when a client sits there and says, you're supposed to be the Samsung tech that knows what the hell you're doing and you've brought me down. Can I trust you guys? And it's because some installer put digital extensions on the first block, analog extensions on the last block, and everything is just a mess. A 5-minute fault ends up taking you 2 hours because you're tracing everything back to the system to find out what's what. Doesn't work. And as a technician, it's embarrassing when a client comes to you and says, do you actually know what you're doing? Or in a lot of cases, your office phones you and says, client's phoned me, he's not happy with you. Not a lack of feeling. Because some oak made a quick job of trying to install the system.
Or worse, even say the client don't want you back.
Yeah. That's how I'm actually the one in the office that sits and gets those calls and asks my techs. I phone them and give them shit, but also knowing at some point it may have not been his fault. But what do you do? Okay. But at the end of the day, it boils down to customer satisfaction. If it's done right from the start, everything should go smoothly and you should have a happy client. Okay. Okay, the other reasons why we split them is lightning protection. Guys, lightning protection, extensions, especially digital ones, do not like these plugged across them. They go down. And what we see in a lot of cases is they use the same block for lines, extensions, everything, and you go pull out a lightning protection and that one's broken off and that one's broken off. I'm sure you guys have seen this. And the reason for that is they are extensions. While we're on the subject of lightning protection, you will see, I know this fits in both ways, up or down, works, goes in. There's a protected side and an unprotected side. And if you look at the block, it says connect line this side and connect equipment this side. I'm sure most of you guys have seen this, but I'll pass it around so you can look at it. When it says connect equipment this side, it means the block that it's plugging into. If it's connect equipment this side, that is the side that must be going to equipment. So if it's on your PABX side, like I said, the top is your PABX side, it will plug in with the connect equipment this side on the top, there. Okay? If you are putting it on the telecom side at the bottom, sometimes you want to double protect the client, so you're going to put two lightning protections. Flip it around. Your equipment is jumping to the bottom of that corner block. Put it in this way. Okay? If you are using the clear line boxes that you buy from Mia, these are already earthed on the back plane. Okay? If it's not, this little lug on the side has got a reason. It's not there because the designer thought it'll look cool. You're going to then have to take this down to earth somehow. But as I said, if you are using those boxes, perfectly fine, plug it in. We will go through how to connect power on those boxes and how to check the earthing on it just now as well. Questions? Want to pass it around?
The earth on the MDF, does that come from the mains, or do you have to supply separate earth?
No, on these boxes it comes from the mains. And if you'll get a chance, you can come and have a look here. This one is already wired up and it is working. How I know it's working is there's a light there that says earth that is on. There's 3 lights on that box. One says power, one says fault, and one says earth. Actually, does it say fault? Oh, it says protection faulty, sorry. So when that light's on, everything's working hundreds, right? Okay. When that light's on, you've got a problem. The other 2 lights is power, which means there is power running through the box. And the bottom light there says earth. If that light is not on, you do not have a good earth. You do not have a good earth, plugging 100 of those in is not going to help you in any way. Yeah. Bottom light is earth. So if that light is not on, there's no good earth on that thing. So that box is not earthed properly. You then need to find an alternative source of earth. Okay. Powering of the unit. If I'm jumping around too much, tell me. As I said, we're trying to cover a hell of a lot in the time span that we've got. Okay. Powering of the unit. Pass it down to the other guys. Okay, powering of the unit. This little box takes power into the unit. Okay? A lot of guys will bypass this box, but
My first time to do on this training.
okay, but you have installed Samsung systems. Okay. Sorry, the other guys?
Yeah, we mostly do cameras and then we haven't done PBXs.
So you all have done CCTV.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you come to the CCTV stuff, I can sit, you all can talk. So- okay. You all have followed so far. I know you all came in a few minutes late. You all up to speed on where we are?
Yeah.
Okay. You all know what NLE means? Okay. All right. Yeah. Questions? No questions. Either I'm very good or you're actually saying, stuff this, we want to get out of here. All right. Floor plan, floor cabling. Guys, do we know what to stay away from? Optimal routes to take?
One last question on the PAVX side.
Yeah.
Does the PAVX need to be earthed or is it earthed via the power cable?
It is earthed via the power cable. Okay.
Because there is a little,
You can, now if you actually do take that to a separate earth, remember, cut the earth wire off on the inside of the unit. There's actually a screw there. You can actually unscrew the earth wire from the chassis. But take into account the differential on earth. If you've got everything else sitting on a different earth to the unit, you're going to have a floating earth in between, and that sometimes actually causes problems. I've had instances where a system has been earthed perfectly, working perfectly, gets smacked. Get smacked again. Take the earth off and the freaking thing, you never hear from the client again.
There's like a couple of arguments about that.
Yeah. But I have experienced it personally.
Yeah. There's a lot of systems where there's, you actually take the earth off.
Runs perfect.
You earth the back frame, but the system is
Open, floating. But can I tell you something? 90% of the systems out there are floating. Because, I've been involved in it for years, so I've seen some horrendous stuff as well. A lot of guys just go slap it on, don't bother with it. Never earthed it. Speak to the client, never had a lightning strike. They may have had other issues, but never had a lightning strike.
you plugged it in the wrong place.
I'm just putting it away so it doesn't. Okay, so no questions so far. And it is actually plugged in the right place and in the right direction.
But your lines are meant to be on the bottom.
But didn't I say system also comes in on top of the lines?
But you said it doesn't work with digital.
No, but that's
Your lines are coming from the top.
first chrono blocks, lines.
Ah, okay.
Don't you feel clever now? Okay. Cabling. Guys, there's various ways to do cabling. There's the right way, the wrong way, the short way, the stupid way. You all decide which way you want to go. There's ways to waste a lot of money by taking stupid routes through the wrong environments, things like that. In y'all's experience, and there's a lot of experience in the room, what do we stay away from? Power, yes? No, Electric fences gives those tuck, tuck, tuck pulses on the phones.
Fluorescent lights.
Fluorescent lights. Anything else? Rats we can't do anything about, unfortunately.
All your ballast units, even your low voltage LED downlighters.
Yes. That's why lights stay away from totally. Route around them. Route around them.
And using the same pipes as everybody else is using
Yeah.
for everything.
Cabling has gone a lot easier in the last couple of years. The days of us running into ceilings and holding the cable in your mouth, crawling through there, getting to the other side, guy knocking at the bottom to make a hole to come down, very seldomly get now. Most of the ceilings are push-up. And a lot of them have got cable trays already in, so no issues. Run it in your cable tray, cable tie it down, you're done, you're out of there. Actually, I love the new designs of buildings where they've got open. Even the cable trays are there. Shit, I'm in and out of here in a couple hours. Thank you, I'm done. Brilliant. Love the new architects. Okay, but then you get the other end of it where they don't even provide routes, trunking, nothing. Those are the crappy ones. Now I'm running,
Doesn't want to see cables.
Yeah.
But they must be cables.
yeah. We did a house recently. Brian is actually aware of that house. Closed everything up, closed the ceiling up, no trapdoors, nothing. Yeah, put my CCTV here. Uh-huh. Yeah, Mr. Client, I'd love to. How do you want me to get the cable here? No. See that air vent there? Yes. That's your routine. I said, we can't even fit our hand properly through there. How do you want us to run 16 cables through there? I mean, we're supposed to feel our way around. It's ridiculous. But yeah, that's the challenges we have to unfortunately deal with. We have to be creative and find a way. Okay. But yeah, we've covered the stuff that you need to stay away from. Obviously, we look for the shortest route so our job can get done quicker and we try to save some money in the process. Okay. A lot of cable are specific. You're running outdoor. The one white cable doesn't help running that outdoor. I've seen guys run a cable over a roof. No, serious. Over a roof. A white cable, indoor cable, straight over a roof. Okay, we laugh. Tell me you haven't seen stupid shit like that. Not even a year. We got hectic weather conditions in this country and it's getting funnier by the day. Okay. The heat, the sun, is going to brittle that cable so quickly. The water is going to get through to that cable. I actually will give it maximum 6 months, and that is going to stuff out. Okay. I know I say shortest route and try to save money, but there is some exceptions to that. Yeah. The guy could have went underneath all the way around. With an outdoor cable still. Yes, it's underneath, but still an outdoor cable. Would have worked. Going straight across like that, didn't work. Okay. Any other ideas on cabling, guys? Room is open, talk. Okay. Try to stay away from power, as we said. You'll notice power skirtings or trunking has got 2 portions to it. The top portion is generally for power and the bottom portion is for cabling, data, phones. Do not run it in the top portion. It's not there for you. The bottom portion is yours. Okay? And I know in some cases electricians don't follow that rule, but ours is the bottom portion. Top portion is theirs. Okay. You run your cable, you bring it through to the unit. We've already said how we're going to terminate on the unit. Your unit is now ready to be cross-jumpered. In other words, from your floor plan or your telecom line section to the system. Power the unit up, preferably before cross-jumpering. Just plug in. Take a digital phone, plug into your digital ports, make sure they come up. Analog phone, plug into your analog ports, make sure it comes up. And take one single line, start jumping it across, make sure all your lines come up. Once you jumper, you do it before you jumper, that means now you know your unit, all the ports are working. Once you've done that, start jumpering. Okay, as I said, if you're fortunate enough to use the different, have the different colors jumpers, use it. If not, I think just about everyone buys black and white these days, uses that as jumper wire. So jumper your unit up, test. Is it working? Is it not working? If you've tested everything and you've cabled properly, shouldn't be a problem. Unit should be up. Questions, guys? We just did the entire unit and not one question. Okay. There's the rain. Okay, that's a 70-30 and a 70-70 done. And I've got no questions. You guys are killing me.
What's the space between the top of the, on the unit there where that little fan is on the top? How much space must you leave for that?
Yeah, okay, good question. On your 70-70, there's a little fan here on the top. And we all know covering the fan, going too close to an object on the top doesn't work.
Putting a magnetic
Yeah, magnetism.
around there, it stops it.
Ventilation is important for these things. Installing them in cupboards, drawers, doesn't work. It's gonna give you shit. They're gonna overheat. That is a bearing fan in there, so dusty conditions it doesn't like all that much. And you all are aware that if that fan fails, the unit will turn itself off in 24 hours to protect itself.
Just first bring alarm on.
Yeah, the alarm will come on, but most of the time the operator doesn't know what the alarm is about. They just bypass it and carry on working. And then you'll get a call saying your system is down. You'll go to the site, you'll restart it, it will work. If the fan starts turning again, it will come up, but it will fail again. If that fan does not turn, the unit will not come up. You'll have a flashing red light on the front warning you that there's something, that there is a problem. Okay? That fan is very distinctive when you put the unit on. You can hear it come on. If you do not hear it, you've got a problem. Okay? And unplugging the fan does not help. It's got a sensor on it that if the motherboard does not see it, will not start the unit up. Okay, so you're looking at least 10 to 20 centimeters on the top to answer your question. Okay, so there is some breathing room for the unit. Your 70-30 does not have a fan on it, but it still needs breathing space around it. There's a few chips on that thing that gives off quite a lot of heat.
Is there lightning protection for the LAN port as well or not?
Yes. Sorry, thank you. You see, I forget things and you guys help. On the other side of this box, there is 2 ports on the top, 2 ports at the bottom. This is an optic isolator for LAN ports. Okay, the reason there's 2 on these is your bigger systems will take an MGI card as well as a LAN port, the main LAN port and an MGI card. But your 70-70 and your 70-30 has just got 1 LAN port on it, so you'll only utilize 1. Okay? Bottom, the back one at the bottom to the back one to the back one on the top, front one at the bottom to the front one on the top. And this is actually wired in the correct way. Your input is at the bottom, your output to your system is on the top. It actually is marked on it, input and output.
Those 2 ports, are they isolated from each other?
Yes, they're separate.
So one could theoretically use the spare port for like your Microtech or
Yes, you can.
your dish.
Which is the case here. The second one is actually wired through to this Microtech. Okay, sorry, that one.
And it's IPv4, not IPv6
No,
compatible.
It's a cable. So
No, I'm talking on the PABX now, sorry. The client asked me the other day. They're thinking of moving their network over.
the Samsung stuff are IPv6 compatible. I haven't done one on IPv6 as yet, but like that board says, we should be compatible on the IPv6 stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, you all want to take a quick break before we go on? 5 minutes. Please, 5 minutes only. Yeah. Are we ready to carry on? Okay, sorry, for the guys that did not ask the question during the break, toilets are down here. Okay. All right. Okay, questions that was asked during the break tells me we need to run through some wiring of these units. 7030s are actually straightforward, it's quite easy. There's a separate port for every item. So the 4-port cards that you slap into the unit has got an RJ port for every item. Yes, they are RJ45s, but just the middle 2 cables work on it. So on a standard fly lead, the blue, white is the active port. Okay, so you actually come out from the 7030 into your chrono block and you wire the blue, white. You do not have to wire the entire cable. You are going to waste chrono blocks if you do that, and you're going to take up unnecessary space on your MDF box. Okay, so the blue, whites on that one. Simple, straightforward on a 7030. 7070 becomes a bit more complicated. Oh, hold on. Your 7030 BRI card. 4 wires, not 2 wires. Okay? So it'll be the blue, white and the green, white. Okay. You guys do understand the wiring on the RJ45 of a standard patch lead. Okay? Orange, white, orange, green, white, blue, blue, white, green, brown, white, brown. Okay, so going forward, if I'm referring to that, I'm going to give you all the colors and you'll need to understand where those colors fall in. Does everyone understand how that cable works and the coloring scheme on that cable? Guys, as I said, if you don't understand, tell me now. I can run through it quickly and we move on.
RJ11 and RJ12
Yes,
compared to using the RJ45.
on a 7030. RJ11, RJ12 will work on a 7030. But when you plug it in on the side, you will see there is some play on the cable or on the jack that, or the RJ that plugs in. And if you don't plug it in properly, it will not make contact and that port will not work. As I said, it will work, preferable, use a 45. Okay? Yes, and you struggle to get it out. And you struggle to get it out. Okay? So it's preferable to use the 45. Now, from a cost perspective, yes, you can use a patch fly lead for it, cut it in half, use 1 lead for 2 ports. It does work out expensive. A lot of guys, what they do is they'll run a 10 pair or a 20 pair up and terminate RJs on the corner, on the end, plug them in and terminate the 20 pair or the 10 pair on a chrono block. I don't have a problem with either method. Okay? Actually, the 10 or the 20 pair might actually work out neater, and it does definitely work out cheaper. Okay. Your patch leads, a 1 meter patch lead these days costs around $12, $13, somewhere around there. So they are pretty expensive. And you're probably going to end up with a 2 meter one as opposed to a 1 meter, because if you're going to try to make 2 leads out of it, 1 meter is going to be too short. Okay. So that's going to be up to you all which way you want to do that. When I use a single cable like a 10 pair or a 20 pair, I'll run all my extensions on it and I'll just run a separate cable for the lines. So I try to keep the lines on a separate cable from the 10 pair or the bigger cable that you're running. And also, when you run that cable, you generally end up with some spares on it. So if something does go faulty, just crimp another RJ on it and plug it in. And it's already terminated on your MDF. Okay, so that's your 7030. Simple unit, straightforward to wire. The 7070, a lot of guys get confused on it. Especially when we first started working with the unit, nobody could understand how the cabling actually worked properly. In general circumstances, the guys used to take a 45, slap it in, and they'll terminate from the blue, white going outwards. Because if you were used to the old Samsung units, that's how they actually did it. Started with the middle 2, outer, 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 and carried on. On the 7070, they changed it. Your first pair will be on the orange, orange, white. Your second pair, green, white, blue. Your third pair, blue, white, green, and brown, white, brown. That's your 4 ports coming out of it. So you can actually, again, wire it with a separate patch lead from each port, or again, run a big cable and terminate RJs on it. Okay, but because you need all 4 now on each port, becomes a bit cumbersome to put the 8 wires into it and then crimp it. So most guys just run with a separate patch lead from each port on the 7070. Okay. If you look at the side of your 7070, you'll see there's a lot of ports on it. I'm just going to take this cover off for now. There is a label on the side that tells you what cards can fit into which slots, firstly. And secondly, you can actually take a pen and mark what card you've got into each slot. Nobody does it, as far as I can see. Okay, nobody does it. But, as I said, the important thing is it tells you the slot and what corresponding port number that slot comes off of on the side. Okay. So if somebody reads through it, it'll tell you the location, and it tells you in the next column what module that particular location can take. The locations are marked on the board. As you can see, this is the BMP section. It says location 1 and location 2. It actually does mark, it is marked on the board. LOC 1, LOC 2. Then you got a B8S section, which is this section, and again from the bottom, location 1, location 2, location 3. Okay. Those are all already on the side of the unit. If you put the 8 expansion card on, it fits across this section. You break the tabs here, and there is an additional 6 RJ45 ports on the side here. 2 for the analog extensions that's on board on that card. 3 for the 3 cards that fits on top of that board. And the last one, they've put a spare in, I don't know why. Does nothing. Okay. Does everyone understand the wiring of this unit? As I said, it is a bit funny. Has anybody had problems on this when they did their first one?
Yes.
Everybody did. No, it's got 8 analog ports, but it comes out of two ports because it's 4 on each port. Okay. The ports are actually marked on the side as well. Port 1 and port 2, port 3, and so on. And it actually tells you next to the port 2, PRM. PRM is your PRI card. That is the only slot that takes a primary rate card on a 7070. You can only put 1 PRI card on, and it goes into the location 1 of your BMP. That's the only slot it can go into. Okay. Anyone tell me what the wiring is on that PRI? Yeah.
So it's 1, 2, 3, and 6.
1, 2, 3, and 6. No. 1, 2, 4, and 6. 4 and 5, sorry.
Same as all the others.
Yeah, it's a standard across all Samsung systems. You can actually take the cable coming out of a 7070 and plug it into a 7400. It's exactly the same cabling. That RJ is 1, 2, 4, and 5. 1, 2 being your RX, and 4 and 5 being your TX. Okay. Then, can anyone tell me how you wire a BRI on the system? That's the one that got me in the first place. Okay, but remember your BRI card on this thing is a 2-port BRI card. So you're going to be putting 2 BRIs on it.
So the one will be 4, 5 and 3, 6.
4, 5 and 3, 6, okay?
The other one
So
will
you're
be
saying middle 2 and outer from that,
and
and then the other ones are,
1, 2 and 7 and 8.
who agrees with him? Come on, you guys have had to have wired a BRI onto this, man. Huh? No.
So it's different from a 70-30 and a 70-70.
Yeah.
That's why.
Your first BRI will go on to 1 and 2,
This is a 70-30.
5 and 6. 1, 2, 5, 6. 70, 70. Your second goes on 3, 4, 7 and 8. I had to sit the first time I did that on this unit and freaking play. I actually terminated an RJ onto a chrono block and just carried on changing until it freaking came right.
So the
Picture was
70,
very,
70, 70.
yeah, picture in the manual was very misleading.
Yeah. Has everyone got the manuals on this system? The 7070 and the 7030. There is obviously, the programming manual is a standard manual across the range for the Samsung, but the installation manuals are system specific. They actually are manuals for them, to be honest. You're probably like me. Start wiring, and then after you having issues, then go looking for a manual somewhere to read through. Yeah. Oh, you found Nick. Okay. There is manuals on. You can actually get them from the MIA technical website. They are on there. You all are all dealers, so you should have your own usernames and passwords to get onto those sites. If not, speak to your sales consultants at MIA, and they'll probably arrange your usernames and passwords for them. Okay. But trust me, guys, there's a wealth of information on that website. Okay. And actually, you should have, because firmwares and things like that are available on that website that you these days need more than anything else, is the firmwares for the systems and that. Okay. Okay. When you're putting expansion cards on these units, I don't have one here, but you'll notice a lot of the expansion cards on one of the corners where it screws down, it is got a lot of solder there. It's metal. There's a reason for that. Please screw the cards down. If you do not screw the cards down, you're going to get an arc across that, and it's going to pop something on the unit. A lot of guys do not screw these cards down, and it causes shit. Okay. You are going to get an arc across there.
Especially on the 7030, if you don't screw them
Yeah.
down, when you take your cables out, the card comes out.
Yeah, start this thing around. These ones are a bit more solid, but yeah, they still do the same thing. You'll do know these cards, a lot of them are comparable to your 7100 uni cards as well. Okay, not the PRI card, but the SLIs, the DLIs are comparable to the 7100s. Yeah, but that goes with anything. Even your 7070. If you've got an older software version and the big change came in at 4.63, your older cards do not work on versions above 4.63. Yeah, it just won't work. Like your SLI cards, you started coming out with the SLI2 card, whereas your older cards were the SLI cards. No, the connection is exactly the same. The card will fit on, but it just won't work. On your DLIs, you'll get blow on. Even your SLIs, you'll get blow on it, but the card will refuse to start up. So watch your firmware versions. Okay. Even on your 7100, your uni cards at that point also changed. The uni cards, if you bring them into technical, they just upgrade the firmware on it. But you can't do it yourself. You need to bring it in. They've got a special cable for it. Okay, any questions on that? Guys, you guys are worrying me with questions, eh? Okay. everyone knows how the system works now. If I give you all a system to go install, you all should have no issues installing it properly. Or do you all have questions?
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, once you're out there, that's when you start finding things out.
But a lot of these guys have been out in the field. That's why I'm asking the questions.
That's why, you know, then you call these guys.
Okay, do you want to move on to programming of these units or anything else on hardware? Anything on hardware. Now's the time. If you've got a different way of doing something, talk now, we can discuss it. Sorry, you were saying?
I must ask questions if I've got questions.
Ask, guys, please.
On both systems, there's obviously a port that's labeled to LAN port as well.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry. Okay, there's a LAN port on the side of each unit. It is on the 7030. I've asked them for one. He'll probably bring one through now. Yeah, he'll probably bring one through now. 7070, the last port at the bottom says LAN. Straight LAN cable will bring it up. On the front of each unit, there is lights. You got your run light, your LAN light, your memory light, and your PRI. Obviously, if there's no PRI card in there, don't expect the PRI light to come on. The LAN light will light up when you've got a LAN cable in there. In this case here, you can see every now and then that LAN light blinks, whereas if I unplug it, it is now totally off. So if you want to know if your LAN is working, look at the light. You'll see it should come on now. If it's blinking, it means it's communicating. Light is dead, no communication. And you should be able to see on your switch as well if it lights up or not. Okay, port next to that is a miscellaneous port. Anyone tell me what the miscellaneous port is used for?
For miscellaneous stuff.
For miscellaneous stuff. Most of the miscellaneous stuff we use is just the paging and the music on hold. Okay, you've got an SIO port in between the LAN and the miscellaneous port. Can anyone tell me what that's used for? No, that doesn't work for opening a gate. Your SIO port, you'll probably find it on all of the Samsung units. On the bigger units, on every card, you'll probably find an SIO port. Well, the higher level port.
From your laptop over to your system.
Now, you connect with your LAN to the system. The SIO port is for programming on the base unit of the system. Now, sometimes these units get corrupted. The firmware gets corrupted on it. We then plug in through the SIO port and upload programming onto the system. It is a backdoor interface into the unit. If you actually plug in there, I use HyperTerminal. With HyperTerminal, you can actually see everything going on in the unit. When a call comes in, it actually displays. When it's transferred, you can see it. It actually gives you all that information in the background. If your unit is not starting up, you plug in there, restart the unit, and it'll actually come up telling you what the problem is, why, what's not starting up. It's in a little bit of code, but if you read through it, it does make a little bit of sense.
7030 doesn't have an SIO.
7030 doesn't have an SIO port, but it's got the shunt pins on the board. You make up a cable for it. I use the
CD-ROM cable, the audio cable that's on the CD-ROM.
no, the power cable on the CD-ROM I used. I used the power cable on the CD-ROM and I made the cable up from that. It actually works perfectly. I got one extra hole, but that's fine. Okay. You guys want to have a look at the unit and ask any questions, please, by all means. The part on the left-hand side is the power supply.
And the light is on, that's all live.
Sorry?
I say when all the light is on and the unit is open, that's all live. So don't touch.
Yes, don't touch. Yeah, lick it and see if there's power. Okay, this here is where your batteries plug in. So you have to actually open up every unit to complete the installation. You have to plug your batteries in. And like I said, there's the little hole on the top for the cable to go out of. Okay, so do not drill a hole in the system. There are quite a lot of fuses on the power supply, 4 on this board. How many of you guys have ever had a fuse blow on this thing? In my years, I think I've had 3 of them blow.
Important that when you switch on the system and you haven't terminated any cabling on your batteries,
Hmm.
I mean, the leads it comes with are actually open.
Yeah.
And they loud, so just check.
So just watch that. That's right, sorry. The leads that come in, if you've plugged your unit on, these leads that come from the system, it's open on the end. So do not plug power in, plug your battery lead in, not terminate your battery lead, plug the system on. Those two, this thing, you're going to pop that power supply. If they touch.
Cut them away.
So either, if you're not wiring up your batteries at that point, do not plug the batteries in. You'll rather start the system up without the batteries on. Once you finish your wiring on it, plug the batteries in. And it's preferable to plug batteries in with the system off, not live. Okay? You are going to arc if you plug it while the system is live. There's a possibility that it will pop.
Pop the fuse as well.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I've done it. Not recommended. I haven't popped anything, but I have done it.
Quick enough, you can do it, yeah.
If you can afford to replace the power supply, by all means, carry on. Okay, guys, come. Questions, questions. I told you all I like interactivity. None. Okay. At the bottom here, there is 2 lights. You can see it here on the inside, but they reflect off this metal part here where you actually put the earthing lug in. One says AC, one says DC. Any idea what's it for? Sorry? Yeah. So if the both lights are on, batteries are on the system as well as AC power. If the AC light is off, the system's running on batteries. Okay. Anyone know what the lifespan is on these batteries? 2 years. 2 years. So yes, you're going to be selling a system to a client over a 5-year rental or whatever the case is, but take into account the lifespan on that batteries is 2 years. So within 2 years, you should actually be going back to your client saying, we are on general maintenance, those battery packs need to be changed. Can we quote you on a new one?
A lot of the clients these days tend to don't even go that option because of the IP route.
Yeah.
But after network is off, so
Hmm.
if the network is off, you can't dial anyway. So
Yeah.
that's it. Previously on analog stuff, that was fed from the telecom exchange that stayed up.
And a lot of the clients these days have got a Jenny because of our friends Eskom, so they actually do tend to keep power on their own. So they'll not worry too much about the batteries. They'll tell you, power goes down, we've got a Jenny that'll kick in and run it. If I'm going the full IP option on this unit, so I'm not using analog, coming back to what you were talking about now. So I'm running full IP phones on a PoE switch, feeding out to all the phones, and I've got my battery pack on there. Is it going to help me if I have a power failure? Why? No, say I've got analog lines on the system. I'm not using SIP lines. Is it going to help me? Yeah. Remember, power goes down and your switches that are actually powering the IP phones go down. Your system can be up for as long as you want. It's not going to help you in any way.
It's gonna be up longer because it's not gonna
Yeah, your system is going to be up longer because there's going to be very little drain on it. Okay, so if you're going for an IP solution, make sure you've got a UPS, inverter, whatever it is, powering the unit as well as the switches that are powering the phones. If your phones are being powered by a power supply and not by a PoE switch, you still need to power the phones as well as the switch. The switch still needs to be actually running. So remember that.
Typical question, but for 1 kVA,
Yes.
how long do you think it will run?
depends how many items you got connected to it, frequency of use, what else it's running.
Uses more power when the phones are ringing because it
Yeah.
powers, all those little
Say
things.
the phone's not ringing, will it keep it up for how long? I know it's
Half an hour, an hour.
1 kb.
I don't think it's going to actually go longer than that.
So with basic ringing, you're probably looking at 15 minutes.
The more busy the system is, the quicker that is going to drain. Yeah. Your battery backup will hold your system longer than a 1 kVA UPS. Okay. I mean that.
You get at least 4 hours.
So the client wants redundancy, the base is an
Inverter or a Jenny, whatever is the option.
The advantage of the batteries and having a Jenny is that when the power goes down, for the time for the Jenny to kick in, the system stays up.
Mm.
But again, when you've got IP,
A lot of guys use inverters in conjunction with a Jenny. The inverter is just there to keep power running until the Jenny actually comes up to strength.
So with the generator, obviously you're going to get fluctuations in the power
Yes.
because it's a compressor, it's just how it works,
Mhm.
it's rotation. So, you're going to get any interference with the phones through that, you need to earth especially.
No, as long as you're running through all the items that we spoke about, it should be fine. It should be fine. And remember, if the guy doesn't have an inverter there, you'll all know when a Jenny starts up, you're either going to get a spike or it's going to start up bringing power slowly. And like I said, undervolt is not good as well. It's just as bad as the spike. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this is the fan we were talking about. You can all see it. Okay, this is an older unit. It's got a reset button here on the inside. The newer units do not have a reset button here on the inside. It's only got a reset button on the side. Okay. You hold that reset button in for over 10 seconds, you are factory defaulting that unit. Okay. So if you want a factory default, there's your option. 10 seconds and it will default it. Okay. I don't think there's anything else we need to cover on the cards or wiring of these units. Everybody knows what cards comes on these units, eh? Huh? No. Okay. There's an option of cards. 4 digital, 4 DLI card, which is 4 digital extensions. 4 SLI card, which is 4 analog extensions. 4 trunk card, which is 4 analog trunks. 2 BRI card, which gives you 2 basic rate lines. PRI card, which gives you a PRI line. Your 8 expansion card, which gives you 8 analog extensions as well as 3 universal slots. And I think that's about it. There's no other cards on this unit. Your 7030, 4 trunk card, which gives you 4 analog trunks, 4 DLI card, 4 digital extensions, 4 SLI card, 4 analog extensions, and your 2 BRI card. The cards are not interchangeable between a 7030 and a 7070.
you get expansion, I think, card as well.
Oh yes, you do get an expansion card, which allows your 7030 to be expanded into a 2 cabinet system. So you're going to have an expansion card in each unit
The pricing they made is such a way that it's better just to go single.
for a 7070. Yeah, I agree with that. I tend to do that as well. A double cab 7030 is 28 ports maximum. And the pricing comes so close to a 7070 unit, I tend to just rather go for the 7070 unit. But if you've got a client that's already got a single cab 7030, then yes, maybe it'll work out better to go for an expansion cabinet. But there as well, I tend to rather tell him, let's just go for a 7070 now, and
Easier to
listen,
convert.
you'll make Sivam happy because he'll get a little bit more sales there. Did you manage to get a 7030 unit? We should actually have one downstairs. Okay. Phones, you guys know the different phones that you get? Huh?
No, sorry, on the card,
Which card?
location 1, location 2 are very specific. They don't take extensions, they take trunks only, right?
Yeah, it's shown on the side.
It shows you on the side here. Okay. Obviously, I said location 1 will take, as it says here on the side, a PRI card, a 4 DLI card, and a 4 SLI card.
There are no trunks on that.
Yeah, no trunk cards on that. And your location 2 just takes a 4 DLI and a 4 SLI. Okay. What that means is these two slots. The bottom slot can only put 3 different cards into it. A PRI card, a DLI card, and an SLI card. Location 2 on the BMP will only take a 4 SLI card and a 4 DLI card. No trunk cards are allowed in those slots. So your basic rates, your 4 trunk cards goes on the 8S section or the expansion card that comes in. You can't put it on there. Okay. Sorry? Yeah, you got a 4 analog on the base for trunks already. Okay. The base unit on this system comes with 4 trunks, 4 digitals, and 8 analogs, which comes out of wiring ports 3, 1, 4, and 5. P1, P4, and P5. Okay, P1, P2, P1, and 4, 5. Right, and you'll know how to wire that. I have actually explained that. You'll understand the wiring on it. Again, coming back. Okay. I'm going to try to organize a 7030 and I'll pass it around so everyone can see how the ports actually work on that. It's actually quite simple. Okay, the phones, everyone knows what an analog phone is, I assume, in the room. They're straightforward, they've been around for years. Nothing special about it. It's similar as to the butt that you carry. Your digital phones are, this is a 38 button digital, that's an Econo, analog. There's a few in between, there's a 7 button, there's a 14 button. They are just the amount of buttons that varies on the phone. That's the only difference. Digital phone won't work in an analog port, and an analog phone will not work in a digital port.
Tell the people how to distinguish between a digital and an analog phone when they're the same brand.
Same brand.
Let's say Samsung.
Yeah.
The analog will have a flash or a recall.
Okay. And digital will have a transfer. Okay. But I would assume that the guys in the room would be able to distinguish just by looking at the phone what an analog and what a digital is. Okay, maybe the CCTV guys at the back may have a bit of a problem. But if the phone has got a flash button or an R button, that's generally an analog phone. If the phone says transfer on it, it's generally a digital.
Blue speaker button, and that's digital.
On the Econo?
On the digital button. The blue speaker button, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then we move over to IP phones. This is a 3100 and this is a 6020, sorry. Okay, entry level, this is our newer range of phones, and there's a couple in between, your 5210s, 5220s. The 2000 series, they're not running there anymore. It's okay, so don't worry about the 2000 series.
The neo phones are gigabits.
The 6000 series is gigabit. The 3100s are 10100s, as so is the 52 range. It's 10100s. So the only gigabits are actually the 6000 range, but on your 5000 range, you do get a analog, a gigabit daughter board that plugs into the bottom of the phone. That makes it gigabit. But if you start comparing the price, you might as well just look at a 6000 phone. That's easier. Am I correct in saying that, sir? Okay. Less failures as well. Take into account these phones here, these 3100s. They've got a soft switch under them. Does everyone understand what I mean when I say a soft switch? There is 2 ports at the bottom of the phone, LAN and PC. So you come from your LAN into the, from your wall box into the LAN port of the phone, and then you run to the PC from the PC port. But that is a soft switch. So that's what actually brings the price of that phone, makes the price of that phone competitive. But in my experience, when you start running, or the client's running big packages, data dump packages and things like that, you start having problems with the programs running on the PC. We had it the other day at a doctor's office. They were running some proprietary medical software, and it refused to run through that phone. Took it out and put a 5220 in, worked perfectly. So just watch that. But with the Freedom stuff, as I said, we're actually running on our own network, so we should be okay on it. Clients that, in that case there, you can actually run a separate network point, leave the PC where it is and plug the phone in. Some cases it actually works out cheaper than replacing the phone as well to a bigger phone. Okay. That's only if you're running single cable to the desk, which in most cases we end up doing. But as I said, on the Freedom stuff, we are running on a separate network, so we will be running a separate cable to each desk in any event. Questions? I'm surprised. I just ran them through a 7030 and a 7070, and nobody said, can these things take IP phones? Can these things take anything else but what we explained to them? Okay, these PBXs are fully IP compliant, so they can run as a pure IP switch as well if need be. Okay? So we can put IP phones on them. And as per Colin's question earlier, every card you put on the unit takes virtual extensions away. So when you put a card in, the fewer IP extensions you can put onto the system. Proprietary phones. The IP phones are Samsung proprietary, but you can put third-party SIP licenses onto them and put substandard phones on them. They do work. Most of the time we end up using those for your Polycoms and those type of things, conference phones. Questions, guys, questions. You're killing me here. Okay. Do you want to move on from hardware? Any questions on hardware? Any questions on anything we've done so far? I'm sounding like a broken record here. Questions, questions, questions. Okay, so let's move on to programming of these units. Any particular area the experienced guys has problems on programming? Remember, these Freedom bundles are going to request everything. General setups, complete programming, as well as some of them will want auto-attendant voicemail, TMSs, everything. On the TMS side, we've got Tyron that will be coming in to give us a little bit more in-depth training on the TMS. He's the writer of the product, so I think he'll be able to explain it a little bit better than me. Anything in particular you want me to cover on programming, or from general programming forward?
Auto-attendant,
Yes?
and then that portion there where you use the public and private IPs. Are we going to be using that at all
For Freedom stuff, it depends. If we are going for multiple branch solutions, we will be using the private and public. But if it's a standalone system on one site, no, we won't even need to use it in that case. But yeah, we can cover that if need be.
If you're going from, say, a business to the guy's house?
Yes, that is multiple branch solution. Then yes, we will use private and public. Okay, we can cover that when we get there. Anything else? And auto attendant as well, we can cover that later on. Any other items that we should look at concentrating on? Anyone? Looked like you had something to say. Okay. Logging into the unit. I'm sure most of you all have done it. We use a program called DM Tool. Okay, does everyone know how DM Tool works? Anyone never used DM Tool? Has anybody not used it before? Guys, show me hands. Okay, so there's a few guys in the room that hasn't used the product. Okay, so that means you all have never programmed the Samsung system, I assume. Okay. Sorry, my screen does not share, so I'm going to have to try to look here where you guys are. Okay, so you open the program. There's a few icons on it. We're going to need to connect to the PABX, so we use the System tab. And when you press the System tab, there's a quick connect. Okay, I'm actually going to log on. Okay, is that quick connect? Huh? Okay, quick connect. It's going to ask you for the IP address of the system. Default IP address, anyone? Yes, says now you're quick on the answers, eh? Okay, default IP address 10.0.2.10. In this case, I know the IP address on the system has been changed. It's 192.168.1.10. Okay, enter. Okay, once you do that, pops up with this tab asking you for the password. Default password 1357. Okay, for the guys that don't know it, please write it. It's hash uppercase P B X 1357 lowercase SEC.com. Samsung Electronics Corporation.
That's for the 7070.
That's for all the systems.
But you also had the 17216 RP.
No, that was on the older 72 and 74. Actually, that is still
On the 72.
on the 72 and the 74. But as I said, we're only concentrating on the.
But this will always be there.
This is always there.
Software version issue.
That password that I gave you all is default from version 4.6 upwards. If you are on any version that's lower than that, the default password is Samsung. Okay, and if you are on a version of software that is under 4.63, it will not ask you to change the password. If you're on any version above that, it'll tell you to change the default password immediately on login. And it will not accept the default password as the password you're changing to. Sorry?
You have 4.5, but that's the bigger system.
4.53 was the last one on that, yeah. But now, your DM version, let me just put the password in here. This is kind of hard trying to see what the hell is going on there.
Need your dual screen.
Yeah, when I put my dual screen on, then it doesn't want to actually work on the.
That's what it's doing. It's taking you to the other screen.
No, it's not on the other screen. Okay. The about gives you the version. Try to be on the same or a higher version on your DM tool than what the PABX is on. We've had problems where if you're on a lower version, it corrupts the database. And if you corrupt the database, it's not like defaulting the system and uploading the database again. It's just going to do the same thing. It means you're going to have to reprogram. So preferential, every time there's a new Officer version, device manager version out, download it and just use that at all your sites. It's just safer. Sorry? If you are doing a download on a corrupt database, you can't upload the same corrupted database. If you've got a previous version, yes, it's not a problem. Yeah. No, if you've got a previous backup, you can upload that. That won't be an issue. But why go through the problems? Just be on the latest version of DM. Sorts it out. Okay. Okay, when you log in, that's the screen that you get. On a defaulted system, there's obviously a few things that you have to go do. If you want to change the PABX's extension numbers and things like that, we can do that. So y'all tell me, what do y'all want to run through on the programming? If I have to go through every item, we're going to be sitting here next weekend still. So y'all need to tell me here.
When it starts up, it only doesn't start if you start in KMC mode.
Okay, it starts in this mode. Which I'll be honest, I personally hate. Because I've been dealing with the system, from a long time ago, and I know the MMC code, so I prefer the MMC code side of things.
Can we stop from when you find what you're looking for? We're not find the AMC.
Yeah, you can. If you actually go to the search function, there, you can actually search for something. Give me an example. LCR. Is that the search? Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to read there. Okay. Actually, see, it's got a fast setup. It gives you that one for the fast setup. But here's your new codes here.
Where do I find it?
You can double click on any one on the left hand side. So if I want that one, for instance, if I double click there, or if I click there, brings it up here already.
So it doesn't,
Yeah, but you know what the problem is? It gives you
it doesn't give me the MMC.
the old one. It doesn't
Yeah.
give you the MMC
That's
number.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is there a document somewhere? Somebody have that?
Yeah. Any of the manuals that you can download will actually give you the MMC codes.
Yes, but installation tool used to allow us to do that. You know?
Installation tool used to allow us to do that.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
The RT
They want to force the guys to go out to the new menu side because there's a lot of new things
Yes.
in the structure that changes, and then also on the SEM that's it's totally different.
Well, totally different on the SCM. You don't even have MMC codes anymore. Okay. So you'll understand what we're talking about. There was an old way of doing things where we used to use something called MMC codes, which is man-machine codes. They've changed those codes now to these numbers here.
Those codes you can use on the phone as well. MMC code.
The MMC codes you can use on the phones, where these ones you can't. For the older guys, that's all we had. We never had notebooks, so we used to program on the phones. The newer guys don't even know how to go into programming on the phones. That's how bad it is. But with the newer stuff now, some of the stuff you can't even get to from the phone, so you need a notebook, unfortunately.
When you take it out the box, do you not need to go in first with the phone, or can you go straight in with your
You
laptop?
can go straight in with your laptop. But when you go in with your laptop, the first thing it's going to pop up is it's going to tell you at the bottom, see here where it says Africa,
Yeah.
it's going to say not set. You're going to have to go and set the country manually. And when you're doing it on the PC, on the this thing,
They didn't set it up for the freedom.
sorry?
If they didn't set it up for the...
No, the PABXs are not going to be set up on Freedom side. Eh?
Ah, from the-
So you're going to have to set it up from default.
You do that before you change anything else, IPs or...
You have to do that because remember, whatever you, once you change the country, it defaults the system again. So that's the first thing you have to do. And South Africa is not on the list. Africa is on the list. So you set it up as Africa. As you can see there at the bottom, it says Africa. So don't look for South Africa. The funny thing is when you do it on the phone, when you go in for the first time, it actually says South Africa there, but not on the DM2.
Marcus spent half the day at the site doing looking for Johannesburg.
Who? Okay. So that's a 7070 that we logged into.
You're not running
Tells
on
it to you at the bottom. Sorry?
You're not running on the latest version.
No, I'm on version 4.91 here. Latest version is 5.01. Okay. Latest version is 5.01. Watch on your 7030s, there was a massive update at 4.93. So if you're upgrading your 7030 to the latest version and it's under 4.93, you have to go to 4.92 first. From 4.92, there's a procedure. But if you log on to the site and download the software, there's actually an attached manual there on exactly how to do it. You have to capture your database in a different way and things like that. So do not jump from a lower version, anything under 4.92 to above 4.93 on a 7030. It's not going to work. Okay, if you're over 4.93, then by all means you can carry on. Okay, the rest of the systems are all straightforward at the moment. You can just go to whatever version. If you've got a blank system or a very low version, that's fine, jump to wherever you want. But if you've got a system that at a client and you want to upgrade and you can see that it's a major difference from where you are to the newer version, preferably do it stepped. Don't jump from the low version direct to the newest version. It does sometimes cause problems on your database. Okay, you'll notice that your default codes are in the wrong places and doing the wrong things and stuff like that. Okay, I prefer to always go to 4.6 if I'm under 4.6 first, then I'll jump to 4. If I have to make a big jump, I'll jump to 4.9 and then I'll take it further. Okay. Questions? None? Should I stop asking the question? I'm going to cover first, guys. Talk to me. As I said, if I'm going to be doing everything, we're going to be sitting here next week still. So we'd rather cover what you want to cover.
I said auto attendant.
Auto attendant.
I want I need auto attendance.
Okay, auto attendant is more on the IA, and I'm trying to find some lower end stuff now that the guys want to do first before we just jump into auto attendance. I've got it. We'll cover it. I'm assuming you want voicemail to go with that.
But we'll go through basic stuff in terms of just setting up the dial number plan.
Okay, LCR and those type of things.
It's not a big procedure of basic setup
Okay.
for the guys.
There is a, okay, hold on. There's a basic programming manual on Mia's website. Maybe we should go through that. And I think I have actually got that here. Yes.
There should be a T1 to T5 training.
Yeah, I'm just looking for the basic one, the complete T1 to T5.
That one covers the 70-30 and the 70-70 separately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an older one, but not much has actually changed since that. But this was actually our one. And this actually shows you programming on the key set, I think, more than anything else. Yeah. No, but not much has actually changed on it except the sub stuff. But I don't think we included the DM tool on this. So these are all on the key sets. Okay, and there's a lot of scribbling on it as well. Okay, now let's just set up a unit from scratch. Okay, guys. Who is the guys that said they experienced here? Let's see. You said you knew to do programming. Come run through a general setup. Let's go. Sorry, the screen does not share here, so you're going to have to unwisely battle looking that way. And I've got a loose mouse, sorry. Yeah, you can sit down there then and have it.
You need to be typing.
Yeah, sit down here. Oh, you know, yeah, you might have to type. Okay, I suggest the guys pay attention because what we'll do is we'll clear this unit and call another guy up to do it.
Okay, what scenario are you going to be programming?
Default, just bringing the unit up. Oh. Okay.
You want to default the system or just basic programming?
Okay, Adrian is going to take us through the setup quickly.
Okay, so first we will need to connect to the PBX. Quick connect. What's the IP address?
192. 168. 1.10.
The system not default now.
IP doesn't default.
Okay.
Okay, there's a setting on the system itself. I think it's the switch 6. You actually switch that to the opposite position that it's on. When you default, it defaults. And generally, most of the time, if you default in the system, you are on the same side. You probably want.
Picking me up now. Okay, that default password hash
PBX, all uppercase, 1357 sec.com. Okay, before you enter it, you'll understand this password encryption. Guys, you'll understand the password encryption.
No.
Okay, so version 4.63 again, I think it was. Or 4.63 and above. you've got this password encryption at KDA. On versions lower than that, you don't need to put password encryption in. So it'll be without password encryption. Anything over 4.63, password encryption is required. Okay. Okay. Remember I told you, anything above 4.6, it's gonna actually, 4.63, it's actually gonna come up with that. Without changing the default password is being used, it's recommended that you change it. It will not allow you to go further unless you actually hit OK there and change the password. If you hit cancel there, it just throws you out. Okay, so make it S at MSUNG. S-U-N-G. So Samsung with an at sign.
And then it comes up with change successfully.
Okay, change successfully, so okay. And we are into the system. Okay, now that it's now a clean slate, what do you guys think is the first thing we should be doing? Okay, time and date. As mediocre as that sounds, clients get very annoyed when the date on their phone is actually wrong or the time is actually wrong. So let's go do that first.
Also helps with analysis on your alarms. So
Yes.
you've got the right time.
Okay, so that'll be 5:05. Okay, the easiest thing to do here is to, if your PC's date and time is right, you hit that, you'll see it'll bring up the right date and time there, or you can manually go type all of that in. Okay? And you can hit save. If you are putting the PABX on an internet-enabled network, you can actually put an NTP server, an IP address in there. Your offset will be +2. Okay? And if it is going on an IP-enabled internet, actually will keep the time and date correct at all times. Okay? Save.
After.
That's it. Okay, got that. Next. Next, guys. We okay now? We can pack up and leave.
Extensions if you want to change them.
Okay, if you want to change the extension numbers, 724.
7.
Number.
You want to cover the 70-30 with the 201
Sorry?
70-30. Yes. Follow the links back.
Okay, yeah. Okay, if this was a 70-30, your default 201 and 202 will be the two analog extensions on board. And we always prefer to have the switchboard as the lowest extension number. So we will change that in the case of a 70-30. I tend to like to take the onboards to 209 and 210, which is the last two extensions on the system. I numbered the DLI card 201 to 204. Second card 205 to 208, and 209 and 210 is the onboard analogs. But in this case, we have got a 70-70, so it automatically puts the first, the first port on the DLI as 201 to 204. Your analogs then run from 205 to 212. So if we page down, we'll be able to see that. Okay, you see it? Those are the ITPs.
Right.
Okay. Let's see SMIs.
That is your first extension, slot 5.
Let's see SMIs. Go up again. Here's it right here at the top. 201 to 204 is your digital extension. Okay? And as you saw there at the bottom, slot 5 is your analogs, which goes up to 212. And your loop trunks, here it is, 701 to 704. So those are your onboard extensions or onboard ports, all numbered for you. If you don't need to change it, we don't need to change anything there. If we do need to change it, we actually now, let's take extension 201 for instance. Let's change that to 301. Okay, now remember something on this system. Okay, say that. It's accepted.
Yeah.
No issues. Okay, there is a problem. So it tells you now, port 96 is got the same number. Here's 96 here. So it's your onboard SVMI. That's on the same range. If we say accept there by pushing the change button, it's going to change that port. It's going to take that 301 away. So if you want to use the SVMI card, we're going to have to come back and renumber that extension. Okay. So watch when you change that. You sometimes can actually screw up quite a lot by punching in the wrong code. Okay. Like for instance, if you had to make that a 7 extension number.
Single digits.
Yeah, single digits, forget about it. You probably will only be able to dial extensions and nothing else on your PABX. Because it's going to take all the codes away. Okay. For instance, if we had to make that an extension 7, oh, let's make it 70. It's going to take all of your trunks away. You won't have any trunks on the system. Because they're all going to be blank from here. 701, 704 will become blank.
But technically, you can allocate another.
You can technically allocate another extension, another number to the trunks, but I'm just giving it as a warning. Yeah. Okay. So we've changed that to 301. We did it as an example. We're just going to change it back now to 201, and we're going to put our 301 back at the SVM. Any other questions in 724?
What is your suggestion if you have 3 branches in terms of how you dictate what your extension range should be for 3 branches?
If I go to multiple branches, I prefer to go for a 4-digit extension plan.
Yeah, then you use 21, 22, 23.
Well, depending on the size of the branches, if it's smaller, small branches, I'll use my 2,000, but like 2,000 for head office,
Yeah.
2,100 for branch 1, 2,200 for branch 2, and so on and so
You
on.
can allocate a 4-digit extension to cemetery.
Yeah, let's make 201, 2205 or whatever you want to make it, 4-digit.
It just keeps it clean when you are doing multiple branches.
Any errors?
Accepted. No
So-
errors.
No problems there. But in most of your systems, your 2 and your 3-digit range is generally allocated to extensions. Okay, your IPs and your virtuals, as you can see, it carries on from where your extension numbers are.
If you use 3, then you need the SVMI.
Yeah, but we could have renumbered the SVMI to something else. You can even bring the SVMIs into your extension range from the back.
399.
299, 298, 297, 296. Okay. On your bigger systems, guys, watch 724. We've had it where you send a tech out and he decides he wants to be clever, instead of going to the MDF and changing the extension around, I'm going to do it quickly in the programming. and screws up the client totally. If you did not have a backup, you would have been sitting there for a couple of days trying to renumber those extensions.
But that's what it takes to.
It's a simple way out, but if you do it wrong, you're gonna screw yourself over. Okay. So when that warning comes up, do not just go okay. Double check what is actually gonna change on that system.
Take care, yeah, fix that up and you mess up.
Okay. You must have gotten a couple of calls about that, where guys do that? Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to know in the 724? Is there anything else we should be changing in 724? You saying yes?
The naming on features.
The?
The naming on the features.
The naming. What do you mean naming?
You can see two, see one, there is one.
That's great.
Yeah, you got that, Jason? If you want to change features, like if you want to use a hash to answer a call from an extension.
Okay, yes. Okay, let's go to features. Go down to M. My group pickup. Okay. My group. Can you see it said on 43? No, there's nothing in there, sorry. Usually it's 28 in there, I don't know why it's blank.
No, it's blank.
Is it blank or the
It's
name?
blank.
Okay. That is your pickup groups. Most people tend to want to have a single digit pickup group there. You can put whatever you want in there as long as it doesn't conflict with anything else. I tend to use hash. I don't know if anybody else does the same, but I use hash. Okay. Star. Someone said star. Okay, I tend to use star for my pin codes.
Yeah, we swapped it around.
You always have your pin codes and star.
Yeah, I want to be different from you, so I swapped it around.
Okay. But I think most people actually go this with the star for your pin codes and hash for your I've got a client that uses 0 for his pin codes
Yeah.
and wants to pick up a line.
Also, LCR you said 724?
Yeah, you do say LCR in 724 as well. And that's what's actually using the hash at the moment. Go to 257, port 257. Well, in this case, I know it's in the L, so go up.
Was it just now? Go down.
There it is. LCR. So that's what's currently using the hash. Is it going to make a big impact if we change that, guys? Anyone disagree? No. So go for it. Change it to 0.
Change the Oscar to 0.
Yeah, not yet. So let's go through and explain to them why we're doing it when we get there. Okay, so change the mind group pickup to hash.
I just need to find it.
My group allows you to have trans and extension.
Whatever is lean with anything that's put into your pickup group.
It's not specific, unless you use 6.5 or.
6.5 is your direct default pickup,
Yeah.
which means you have to put 6.5 and the extension number that's lean.
Yeah.
Then you'll be able to pick up a direct call.
So can we give a prefix to the 6.5?
You can change it to whatever you want.
Wait a minute on that.
Yeah, in 724 as well. So if you go to D, go up to D. See, directed pickup
So I can change that to the hash and tell them to follow that with the.
with the extension number.
The hash follows.
That'll work as well. As I said, it's flexible, very flexible. You can customize the PBX in any way that you want. But remember, I try to keep the PBX as close to default as possible. If you ever have an issue, it's much easier to bring up the PBX, especially if you don't have a database. The more changes you make, the more difficult it is to bring the client to where he was. Okay. Anything else we should be looking at here? For now, no. That should be fine. So, should my client be up and running now?
Yes.
Why not? Okay, pick up groups client might want. Is there anything specific we need to do to get the client working?
Yeah, you need to dial 0 for a line.
Okay, let's go see if 0 is for a line. Back to futures on the top.
Trunk groups.
Yeah. Okay, we started there. Okay, so if trunk group is on 0, I'm assuming our operator is on 9. But let's verify.
Check it. Stop moving.
Okay, go. Right? Operator is on 9. Perfect. That's South African standard. Rest of the world, other way around. We were different. Rest of the world, 9 is an outside line and 0 is generally the operator. Okay, we like being different. Okay. So now if we've got an analog trunk connected to that system, it should actually be working. We should be able to make an outgoing call, dial into the number, it should ring to the switchboard. Or do we need to verify that? Let's verify that. Okay. Now let's go up on this side. We're going to go to 406. No? Yeah, there.
That one.
Yeah, double click. And here. Okay, my green. Okay, so everything is ringing to 500. Are we happy with that? Hmm? You happy with it? Okay. Should we check anything else just to be sure?
603. Your lines are-
603. Let's make sure that our operator is definitely in that group. I'm sorry, 601. 603 is trucks.
603, yeah.
Okay, 601 station groups. 500 is our default group. 201 is in there, which we are aware of it being the extension that we want in that group. Anything else? Should work now. Okay, if we had an analog extension or a trunk one, we could have tried that, but we don't. But yes, it will work.
This stage it won't work. Because we change our number, extension 201 to 2205.
No, I changed it back.
If it was that,
It would have changed.
it would have automatically brought it through here. But we changed it back to 201. We didn't want to confuse the dial plans. Okay. That number would not be there if it didn't exist on the system. On the officer system, as soon as you remove an extension number, wherever it was on the system, it is gone. Okay, it will not be there. Right, so that's that. Anything else we need to do? No, it's working. Now we have to customize as per client's requirements. This is where you all come in. What do you all want to customize, guys? What's the general things you'll get from clients?
Clients want multiple phones to ring.
Multiple phones to
Yeah,
ring.
you just add the extension.
Do they want it to
that
ring
group.
with the
Switchboard.
switchboard or overflow to those extensions after
With
a
the
couple of
switchboard.
seconds? With the switchboard. Okay, give me which extension?
Say 205.
Okay, 205. Add it in there. Okay. Do you all understand what the ring mode is here on top? Can you drop down that menu for me, please? Okay. Do you all understand the difference between those three? Hmm? Okay. Sequential ring is all of the extensions that's in here. It's going to sequentially ring to those extensions. So the first call will come in, it'll ring. No, yeah, the call comes in, it'll ring to 201 first. If it's not answered at 201, it'll then ring at 205. And so on and so on and so on. If it's busy, it'll bypass and run to the next one in the group.
No,
Okay.
sequential.
Yes.
Like we're in the first one all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you're right. It'll ring the first one all the time. If that extension is busy, it'll ring the next one. But it'll always ring the first extension in the group.
And it's not answering one
No.
No, it'll carry on ringing there. Okay, sorry. Apologize, you're right. Okay, distribute. First call comes in, it's going to ring at 201. Second call comes in, it's going to ring at 205. Third call comes in, it's going to ring if there was an extension number, it would ring that one. Until it runs down this list, and where there's nothing, the next call will then go back to the first one. Okay? Unconditional. Whatever's in that group, all gonna ring at the same time. The unconditional setting is generally the most common one.
We don't want our operator to be busy, so.
Yeah. Okay. And even if that phone is busy, in unconditional, you'll get a call waiting tone coming through to tell the person there is another call. or not. Okay? Sorted out your problem. What's your next request?
Fine for now.
You're fine for now.
Yes.
You're an easy customer. Anyone else want to be a difficult customer? No one else? That's a you're an easy group here. Yes, Nick. We did mention, we said we'll cover that a little bit later. And I'll go through the easy basics first before we get there. Very good. Sorry? So a client's got a cordless and he wants it to ring, what the operator's got a cordless and wants the cordless phone to ring with the switchboard. I just add the extension in there. It's going to ring together with the switchboard. Or do you want it to be for internal calls as well? Okay. Remember, as long as I phone 500 or 9 internal, it's whoever's in here is going to follow whatever ring mode it's got and run. Okay? But if I phone 201 being the switchboard directly, only 201 is going to ring. Unless you pay. So do you want us to pay an extension? Okay. So let's go to pairing, and let's pay an extension. Let's pay an analog 206 with the switchboard, because the operator has now got a cordless phone with them. Okay, operator has got the cordless phone with us. Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, so 740 is what we're looking for. Okay, now what? Okay, 740 is here. Station pair. Okay, we know we want to pay it with the switchboard extension, which we know is 201. Am I correct?
Yes.
So we said the cordless phone is on extension 206. So you're going to go to 201, which is your primary phone. That's the switchboard. And as a secondary phone, you're going to put in extension 206 in there.
Pairing only works on different devices.
Sorry?
Explain why would we want to use pairing in these different type of devices.
Oh, okay. Okay. Do you all understand what pairing is? Or do you understand why you want multiple devices to ring? A lot of the factory managers and guys that are moving around a lot require pairing. Simple reason is they've got 2 phones. They've got a phone on the desk, and when they're walking around, they've got a cordless or a handheld device. And they don't want people to phone their extension in the office, then there's no answer, then try their cordless phone. So you give out one extension number, being your desk phone. You pair your desk phone with your cordless phone. So when somebody phones your desk phone, both phones ring. So if you're in the office, you have the option of answering your desk phone or your cordless phone. Obviously, if you're not in your office, you've got your cordless with you, you're going to answer your cordless phone.
Now, what if I'm on my cordless and I don't want it to beep while I'm on my cordless? Otherwise, the other phone will be
No. On this system, it doesn't give you the option. On the newer systems, it actually tells you you can accept one call or allow multiple calls. Sorry?
It will actually be busy.
Yeah. Sorry.
When you're busy on the one extension and you've got it paired here and you phone the extension,
It gives an engaged tone.
Yeah, but if you're
Yeah.
Otherwise you could call waiting switch on, yeah. Or then you just switch it off.
If you only want to accept one call at a time, then switch your call waiting off.
You cannot pay two primary phones.
Sorry?
You cannot pay two primary phones.
Why would you want to pay 2 primary phones?
No, I'm saying you can't.
No, you can't.
Like the receptionist has 2 phones, you cannot pay them. If they're both digital phones, for example.
You can forward it to the group and
Yeah, you put them in a group and you forward everything to a group then.
No, I'm just saying. You can, whatever's on the primary side, you cannot add on the secondary side.
No, remember something. Go down.
Yeah, you can't.
See,
It's going-
whatever you've got as a primary
You cannot,
is the only things you can pay.
yes,
If there's an extension that's not on your primary list,
then you can.
you can't do pairing on it.
Yeah, you can't, yeah.
That's basically what I wanted to show you. So, for instance, over there, you notice none of the analogs are there.
Yeah, it won't be there.
You can't pair an analog with another device. IPs you can. There's a lot of IPs in there. All of these funny numbers you see here, 260s and 270s, are all IP extensions.
And virtuals.
They're virtuals, yeah.
just go to 842 quickly.
842. Sup? Information should be fine. There's no data there because in 859 as well.
Not port setup.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, go to 859. Oh, sorry, 857. A little bit further down. You're going to have to page it down. Okay. Yeah. See, none of them are set up for SUP. Change the last wired ITP to here. Okay, save it. Okay, go back up to. No, did you not save that one? Okay, go back up here, 842. There's your SUP phones in there.
See that call forward unreachable.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't allow you to call forward to a group.
Doesn't it? Okay,
Allow you to call forward
drop
to
down
extension.
the drop down that disabled one. Yeah, that one there. Call forward. Let's enable it. Let's put a group number in there. Group 500. Okay, save it. Let's see if it accepts it. Go yes. It's on the other screen. Invalid device. So it doesn't allow you to forward to a group.
Forwards to an extension.
So can we put a virtual in there and forward the virtual to a group?
Doesn't try, doesn't work.
Doesn't do it still.
Something that they need to address.
Hmm.
But a client where the car dealership, they just take their phone and drive. So it's out of range.
Yeah.
It needs to go back to the switchboard. And if you try that setting, it doesn't work. You know, it goes to the phone and the switchboard is busy on the phone, it's busy.
Hmm.
But yeah. Okay, man.
So they've got a deck system there.
Yeah. Yes.
It's not forward to the auto attendant.
Can't go to the
So as soon as you try to transfer, it's going to say unavailable or something like that. Oh, hold on. Is the deck system accepting the call but not just putting it through to the phone? So the deck system is accepting. Have you tried?
Because the guy just drove off his phone, and then the system doesn't realize that the phone's not there.
So it is actually ringing.
And then it's like, yeah, it first rings, and then it's like unacceptable, and then the call actually drops. The
Okay, so it doesn't
because
actually try.
return to the switchboard.
So have you tried 320 doing a forward no answer?
That's what I eventually did.
And is it working on 320? So it's going to be a bit of a time before it comes back, but it's better than losing the call.
Yes, I might time shorter.
Hmm.
But this works so much.
So it's better than dropping the call. Okay, it's not ideal, but it's a a fix, temporary fix until they can get this sorted out. Okay. Okay, did you all understand that conversation? Okay. This is what I'm talking about. We can look at problems that you all are having and look for solutions to it. So if you all are having problems at a couple of your sites that you want to discuss, there's the time. Okay, Colin, not you. Okay. Right, so we've set up the switchboard now. The switchboard group is done. We can make calls, we can receive calls. We were now looking at possible changes. Any other changes that you guys got?
Set up a PIN code on some phones.
Okay, let's go for extension 207 and 208. We want PIN codes on them. Okay, anyone know how to set up PIN codes? You're leaving the guy there to stand alone. Somebody else can help him out.
When you finish with a programming group or programming, what you need to do is when you finish save, instead of clicking on save, you click on close, the right hand one there. Because what you eventually will get is you'll get all these tabs open and it will tell you no more
Yeah.
space.
I was actually waiting for him to carry on until it actually did it, to say, right, this is the reason why it's doing that. Okay, nobody wants to help you. Sorry, but. Okay, so programming codes for authorization codes, anyone? Sorry? 707. Yep, up, sorry. Carry on. Right, there. There. Okay. Authorization codes. Does everyone understand what authorization codes are used for? Okay? And can we restrict that in any way, or is it just open to whatever they want to dial there? Okay. And how do we restrict it?
You'll generally use it also in a place where client's got several people using the same phone.
Mm-hmm.
So when the bill comes or the management report comes and says, no, it wasn't me,
Yeah.
then authorization codes or PIN codes actually works very well in that situation.
Did you all understand that? Everyone understand that? If you've got multiple users on a phone, how do you distinguish who's making what call? So you activate PIN codes on that extension. Of the 4 users to that phone, you give each one of them a unique PIN code. So different PIN codes. You don't take PIN codes and tell all of them the same number. Not worth it, and same as just allowing them to dial out. So when they make a call, they have to punch their PIN code in. When they punch their PIN code in, when it sends out the information to the TMS, it sends it out with the PIN code. So at the end of the month, when you run a report for that extension, you have to actually run it under PIN codes, and you can then see the 4 different PIN codes who made what call. That's the one use for PIN codes. The other use for PIN codes is, some people call it a walking class of service. Because everybody in this office is always moving around and walking around, you don't know who's picking up which phone and making a call. So you set all the phones on PIN codes, and everyone has to punch their PIN code in before making a call. So then it identifies who made a call from that extension. And then some companies just say, that's a factory extension, I don't want them to use it, so put this PIN on, and if one of the managers are there and they need to make a call, they can use that phone.
And it also tends to restrict the call volume.
From,
If the client's got a very high bill, once you activate stuff like PIN code and stuff,
yeah.
tends to just come down. But you need a management system.
Okay, international call barring, which is actually something we should have covered before getting to PIN codes. Yeah, it ties into it. Now you see here in the right line, authorization class of service. You can create a class of service for all codes. So let's actually take care of that first. So let's go to 301. But before, okay, 301 is where we put it in. Let's go to 701. Sorry. Down. Up. Up more. Right, whoa. There. And a double click again. Okay. Who does not understand this table? It's a big table, looks complicated. Who doesn't understand it?
Plenty of yeses.
So everyone understands it. So I can pick anyone out of the crowd to come and explain it then. Okay. Do you want me to explain it? Then say, no, I don't understand it, so I can explain it. Don't let me drag it out of you. Okay. These are features on the system. All of them going down. The top level, where it says toll level, is the class of services that you got. Now you'll notice all of them are exactly the same at this point in time. So if I change anyone's class of service, it's not going to matter at this point in time. Because everybody is on a toll level A and everything is yes. General practice, we just change class of service 1, we leave it on A. 2, we make B. 3, we make C. D, E. No, let's just do the whole lot. It's only 8. Okay. Right. Now, we've created 8 different classes of service. I don't know how people usually set it up, but this is the way I set it up. I leave class of service 1 as your highest level and totally open. So there's no restrictions on that class. He can phone where he wants, when he wants, how he wants. Generally, directors, the bosses, the owners, we leave him there. Okay, it's his company, it's his money. Let him phone where he wants. I use class of service 8, which is H, as fully closed. That guy can only make internal calls. So he can phone wherever he wants within the organization, which means he does not cost me any money. Internal calls are not chargeable. Okay? And then between B and G, I set up for everything else, depending on what the client wants. Generally, my B will be just no international. Right? My C will be local calls only. You can vary it whichever way you want. Okay. For now, what we're going to do is we're going to leave A as open, we're going to leave B as no international calls, and we're going to put H as internal calls only. Let's create one more, and I'm going to make that C. No cell calls, because that's the common one. Okay. So how do we do that, guys? 702. Is that the radio station or code? Okay, cool. 702. Okay, toll deny table. There's a lot of guys that will sit and tell you we use 702 and 703. Just open up 703 for me, please. Little bit to the left. Double click there, a little bit more to the left. That, okay. Toll allow table. I tend to like just using the toll deny, and I don't bother with the toll allow. We just complicate our lives by deny and allow. And there's also 704 is your wildcard. You can use wildcards in there. I don't see any reason why. I just use the deny table. It works. I don't need to go further. Right? Sorry? It's easier, yes. Okay, so we're in the toll deny table now. What do you think is the first thing we need to deny? 00. Why 00? Anyone? International. So 00. Where are we going to deny 002? Do you remember in 701 we put our A, B, C, D, E? As you could see, it doesn't give us A here. A is always open. And you'll notice it doesn't give us H on the end as well. because H is always blocked. Okay, so we got 00 in there. B means no, means it's not barred in that class. Do we leave it as no? Do we change it to yes? C, do we leave it on no or use it as yes? Yes. Why?
Buy international and
So you can find overseas,
I said C, I'm only barring cell phones.
but you can find Pakistan.
And they seem to be happy with it.
Yes.
So I'll buy him for cell phones, but he can phone anywhere he wants. Obviously, if I'm buying him for cells, I'm looking at cost here, and an international call is more expensive than a cellular call. So it's quite obvious if I'm buying him for something, international, I definitely don't want him to dial. So generally, 00 will go across the range to everything as no. I mean as yes, sorry.
That's when you start using the allowed table, because you get, especially in South Africa, you get a situation where they're not allowed to phone international calls, but they need to phone Botswana and
Yes.
Zimbabwe and
Sub-Saharan Africa, they're allowed to phone. Yeah. Okay, but in my experience, most of the time, if the guy can't phone international, we don't phone international. And clients are somewhat naive to the fact that, no, he's not allowed to make international calls. He needs to phone Botswana, so leave him open. Don't argue too much with clients.
Just technically, if I go to my alarm table and I put in a specific CLI,
Yes,
it will only allow that CLI.
yes.
Okay.
You can actually,
Allowing from all international calls, but allowing to phone one number.
you can actually deny 083 here.
What is it?
Digits. You can deny 083 here, which means I will not be able to make any MTN calls. And I can go to the allow table and put my whole cell number in there.
Will allow you.
If you dial my cell, it'll allow it out, but any other 083 numbers it'll deny. Okay, as I said, it gets complicated. Then you can go into your wild characters and use the star and say 08 star, deny. Then you can go there and tell the star that 1, 2 is no, and 3 is yes. So it'll only allow MTN numbers and it won't allow the others, and so on. But as I said, you're just going to complicate yourself. Keep it simple.
What I do want you to cover is allowing an extension that's totally bar to dial, speed dials, if you don't mind.
Okay, that's right. I'll tell you how I do that. Everyone might have their own ways of doing it. I do it that way. Okay. All right, so we said B was going to be denied for international. Are we happy that that's going to happen there? Okay. And we said we're going to use C to deny? Cell phones. Okay. Let's go. Yeah, it's gone actually complicated on the cellular side now. Yeah, and it's all over the show as well now.
So you need to do cell phones and you need to do 08 star and the wild cards rather than listing all the different extensions of cell phones.
Yeah.
You also get 061, all these new ones, the new ones.
Yeah.
look on the 08,
But-
you have to do 3 digits, but on the 06, there's only 6, all 06s are self.
Yeah, but like you said, 06, we know all the 06s are cells at the moment.
Yeah, but you have to do like 5 lines to do all the 08s. Why not just go 08?
As I said, there's many ways of doing it.
So if you go in,
You obviously like using the wild characters, so.
I've never used it before at all, but I just assume that it would be less effort.
But from a perspective of actually seeing what's happening, if I can open one page and look at my barring table, as opposed to opening 3, just simplifies things. And you may like it. And I've standardized this routine to all of my guys. Because whether I go to the client or one of my other techs go to the client, it's a standard. I'm not going to go there and say, but hold on. It's not barred. Why? Oh, it is barred. Why is it working? Meanwhile, some other oak has gone and put a allow in, or he's put a wild character in somewhere. Yes, I know it's 3 lines as opposed to 1 line, but it's all on one menu.
There is another option, obviously.
I mean, okay, If you did 08 star there, for instance, right? Yeah. Go to the wild character. Okay, now I still have to go here and say yes, no, yes, no. Time-wise, I would have been done, you would have still been typing.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
Okay,
Because
so
the program, the idea is always to do the least number of steps.
least number of steps to achieve your goal.
Doing it 6 billion times.
Yes.
And it takes 5 seconds, it's 6 billion times 5.
Yeah. Okay. So as I said, up to you, whichever route you want to go. But that's the way I like doing it. And as I said, I'm not forcing my route down on you. Therefore, I said, if you got a suggestion, let's look at it, and we can, after that, decide whichever way you want to go. But I prefer to standardize on one and stick to it.
So if you put in 08 star on the whole, star X,
Yeah, 08X.
08X,
Go to the wildcard again. We can actually go to it on the top. See, you got X, Y, and Z.
okay.
So you can use 08X or 08Y or 08Z and then adjust it
Drop down
into.
for yes or no, so if you feel that want to allow 080, then you just drop down and say
Yes.
or no, whatever.
Okay.
Then we'll exclude that.
And 08 triple X will deny the phone numbers.
Yeah, you can actually put multiple X's in. But then how do you distinguish which is your,
It will just follow the first
Yeah.
anyway.
No, I'm saying if you put 08 triple X, it will deny the phone number.
no, the pawn numbers are still allowed there because you got the 08 in the front. You must just put XXX. Okay, so, oh, you changed, you changed all the figures in here, did I? 4. 06 and 07. There is no other numbers on 07 at the moment other than cellular, am I correct? Huh? No, there's new numbers popping up every day, that's why I'm asking, I'm not sure.
See, there's a 010 numbers nowadays that's popping up.
Yeah, but those are generally landline and it's the VoIP guys. It's actually Telkom is also using ON. No. Okay.
You want to allow the guy to find 086
Okay.
numbers.
So,
Cell phone numbers, which is all that.
have we covered cellular now, guys?
You will allow 080.
What's the 87?
That is all it is. And when you go to 9X, what's that? Allowing those to
Okay. Is that correct? Everyone in agreement with that?
B needs to be no as well, I guess.
Right. Does everyone agree with that now? Anyone disagree? Talk now. Okay. Save it.
I tell you, we're going to do the speed out.
Okay. Okay, we'll come back and do the speed dial as one complete section. You just have to put the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there. Okay. Do you do it the same way I do it then? I put it in a class and I put it on PIN codes, for instance, and then I just go into the allow table, the deny table. I put 1, 2, 0 in it in a specific class, and then it allows the speed dial, but it doesn't allow you to dial anything else. Yeah, so it's the same way. Okay. Right, so now we've set it up. How do we now activate it on particular extensions?
Either by your code or your extension.
Okay, we're doing it only on the extension for now. 301. Okay, 301. Yeah, there you. Oh, that was 300. One more below. Okay, so now, does everyone understand what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 means?
The ring groups. The ring plans.
Not, yeah, ring plans, or your dial plans, or whatever you want to call it. Day service, night service, lunch, holiday, whatever. Okay, there's 6 classes on a Office Serve system. So there's 6 different modes the system can be in. The most common being day mode, which is the normal operating mode of the system, and night mode. That's 99% of your clients has got it that way. They've got two modes set, day mode and night mode, and that's it. Okay? But you can put up to 6 different modes on. Certain clients may have day, lunch, night, holiday, whatever the case may be. Okay, so we are saying that in day mode, the guys can't phone international at all from extension 202. So what class of service do you think he goes into? 3. Okay, so put him into 3. And he's a sales oak, so I'm going to assume his boss is going to be kind of annoyed at him when he says, I didn't make my sales because I couldn't phone anyone on their cell phones. Okay, 2. 2 is barring international only. 3 is barring international and cellular. That's what we set up. Remember, you can do a group if you want that denies cellular and, denies international but allows cellular or vice versa. You can do it any way you want.
Sometimes you get a special request. They want a phone that everybody must still reach them, but no incoming or outgoing calls.
Everyone must still be able to reach them
Internally.
internally. But you mean no calls from the outside?
Yeah, in other words, you can't from the switchboard make a phone call and transfer it to them.
Yes, okay.
Not allowed that as well.
Yeah. Okay. And let's say extension 203 is not allowed to phone international and cell phones. Okay. Now remember, because we've got different classes of service here, you got day, and let's look at 2 for now. 1 is day and 2 is night. We can now tell the system that if the system is in night service, we don't want extension 204, which is in the factory, to be able to make any calls at all at night. Should be able to receive calls, but there should be no one there, so we don't want him to make calls. So we put him into 8. Okay. But now, during the day, he can make any calls he wants. So let's buy him for international and cell during the day as well, because that's a phone in the factory. There should be no reason why they would need to phone anyone else out of that. Okay. So are we happy that that will work? Are we happy? Okay, but now I'm saying I have got a night service, and at night, if they have an emergency, that guy is not going to be able to phone anyone.
Emergency numbers.
No, he's barred for 8 at night there on 204. He cannot phone anyone. He can only phone internally. And unless somebody else is in the company that can help him, he's screwed there. Fire breaks out, he can't even phone for help.
You must give them access to.
Give him access to?
Only dial speed outs.
That's an option. We can say, okay, let's allow him speed dials and let's put 10,111 into the speed dial list. So at least he can phone for assistance. Put his manager's number into the speed dial. Put the security company into the speed dial. So how do we do that? Sorry, 705. Okay, 705? Down, sorry. Oh yeah, you haven't saved. Have you saved? Okay, 705. There. System speed dials. Okay. Anyone know how to do a speed dial?
The 0 first,
Put a 0 first, okay? Why are we putting a 0 in there?
pick up a line.
To pick up a trunk, okay? And let's go for 10,111 flying squad. Okay, and this being South Africa, we know they're going to get there tomorrow night, so I need to phone somebody else that's going to react a little bit quicker than they are. So let's put let's put my manager's number in there. Let's say his number is his number is 08 whatever. Okay, I think we understand even if you've got a digit extra. Okay, and whatever his name is. Okay, so you save that.
His name is Boss.
So you happy now? Your problem is solved.
No, not yet.
Why?
That's,
You said I must put speed Ls in for him. I've done that.
but I haven't any access to use it.
Oh, you need access to use it. How do we do that? Speed Ls are available to everyone on the system. Must be a code to press. Why a code?
You can get to the speed dial, just press zeros and give you just your normal ring to dial out.
No, you dial 16 followed by the location number for speed Ls. So he should be able to pick up his phone, dial 16500 and get an automated message saying we are on strike now, so please call back when we are available.
Change it to speed dials accepted.
Sorry?
Have to go and change it to speed dials accepted.
Where do we do that? No, PIN codes, speed Ls are 605.
There's an option on 701 as well.
Mm. Okay, go to 600 for him. One up. No, one up. Okay. 606. No. 607? No, one up. No. Okay. Sorry. 705. Speed L, sorry. Okay, 700. 705 is there, so 706. System speed L, open that. Is,
That's just the name.
yeah, that's just the names. It was somewhere.
Maybe 701.
Okay, 701.
Scroll down to the bottom there.
Speed. S.
It's a system speed icon.
Yes. That one.
But it doesn't always-
Yeah, I know.
It's there.
Okay, it's there. So you saying in class 8 where I put him, if I change that to no, I shouldn't have a problem dialing speed Ls. Okay. Yes, it should work, but it doesn't. I don't know why. I didn't question why. I just looked at another way around it. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new class of service now to allow speed Ls out from a barred extension. Okay? So where did we do that before? Under what code? Sorry? 702. Okay, our toll deny table. So now we look for a group that we haven't used. We haven't used D, am I correct? So let's use D. So what are we going to bar? Okay, 0, 1, up to 9. Right. And we're going to put yes for D.
All the numbers in South Africa starts with 0, so there's no need to put 1,
And
2,
put
3,
the
4, 5,
zero
6, 7.
Yeah, I just do it in because you can try to tell telecom services, and you don't know what other new numbers are going to be coming up. So we just put everything in. Yeah, we're future proofing. But yes, Nick's right. All that we need is that one there. But we'll put everything in just to be on the safe side. Okay. Can he now phone out at night? The speed dials? Why not?
It's on a different class of serve.
Okay.
Need to change him also to the class of serve.
Right. So we left him on 8. We're going to have to change him to what? 4. That's correct. So let's go change his class of service to 4. 301. Up more. There we go. And that was extension 204 at night. 4.
Any particular reason why they switched from letters to numbers?
I have no idea why they did that. No idea. Can't answer that. Actually, no, I probably can. Remember, the Samsung systems were set up with programming from the key set before. And it probably made it easier to punch in a number than push an alphabet. Now that everyone's moved over to PC programming, you might find that they will switch it at some point to alphabets again. Okay. Are we happy now that he's sorted out? Okay. Now remember, you can use that for an extension where they say, I only want this person to make authorized calls, authorized company calls only. So what do we do in that case? We put the same class of service, allow them speed dials, and we put all the authorized numbers into the speed dial list. Does anyone know how many speed dials are allowed on a 7000 series system? Anybody? Who said 5,000? Ah, no, you're way off. 200. Who said 200? Okay. Any other figures? Default, it's 200. But it can be changed. Can go up to 950. Anybody want to know how to change it, or are you all happy with the 200 that you got?
Now I want the 950.
You want the 950? Okay, anybody know where to change that? That's a good question, because I'm actually trying to think now again as well. Yeah, it's in the 600 somewhere. Okay, go to 600. Sorry? Changing the speed dials from 200 to 950. 861. Is it 861? Okay, 861, sorry. More down. Right, 861, yeah. A little bit to the left. Ah, yeah, save that. Okay, hold on, before you save it. If you do make a change on a page and you change the page and you haven't saved, it does come up with that. Okay, so you can save your data before carrying on. Okay, so 861 is there. System options. Okay, sorry, here it is. System speed block, 20. Your blocks are in 10. So 20 means there's 200 speed dials at the moment. So you can actually click on that. You can change it to anything between that and 95. So if you want 300 speed dials, you just make that 30. If you want 500, you make that 50. If you want the maximum 950, you make that 95.
And then you go one step up.
Yeah. Okay.
Will they follow in sequence 500?
They start, no, they then change, they actually now start at 50.
From 550.
16050 to 16999.
Yeah, but you can change that if you want to as well.
Not really. Not really. That's your speed dials set.
So can we change our speed out from 500 to
You can change the 16 in the front,
Yeah. and
but you can't change the number.
I think I did one.
No.
Pardon?
Can't change that. You can change the 16, the speed dial code, but not the physical location number. Okay. Right, so now I've got 950 speed dials on that system. Okay, so we've done speed dials, we've done barring, we've done ring groups. Anything else your client wants? No, pin code, sorry. We were busy with pin codes. That's how we fell onto the barring side of things. 707. Up more? No, more up. Yep. Okay, so now, pin codes. Anyone know what's the minimum amount of digits required for a pin code? And maximum?
7,
I think it's 8. Punch in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see where it stops. 9, 10, 1 again. So it's 10. 10 is your maximum. But I mean, now if I want to make an outgoing call, I'm actually going to dial 21 digits before I get there. So obviously that's going to be a bit of a,
save money.
yeah. Okay, so as I said, you can go anything from 4 being a minimum to 10. So let's leave it at 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, is there any particular class of service that person needs to have? Let's deny that class of service phoning international and cell. So what class do I put it into? Everyone in agreement? Press save. What extension must that now be associated with? Which extensions need to use pin code and which ones don't? Right. How do we set that up? Because there's multiple ways to do it. Okay, you can do it in 305. Let's go to 305. Yeah, yeah, it's there. Okay, force codes. The extensions I want to use force codes on, drop down one menu for me. Okay, so we just put that as authorized code. So that extension will not be able to dial out unless punching a pin code in. The way we punch a pin code in is star, the 4-digit code, which in this case is 1234, 0 for your line, and the number you want to dial. But I've got a problem. I want that extension to be able to use speed dials. And if he wants to make another call, he can use his PIN code. How do I now do that? Anyone? Take him out of where? Make it none there. Okay, let's go to 203 and make it none.
We go to 301.
Okay, let's go to 301.
It's better to do that with your operator because normally they have to test lines.
Okay, so what am I doing now to him? It was extension 203 we were talking about. We made him none on that side. What do we do here now? Put him into class of service 4. Okay, so we put him into class of service 4. No, yeah, that's right. Does everyone agree with that? Why?
Because he can dial the speed dial,
Okay,
nothing else, but he can still use his code to dial out.
exactly. Your authorization code, when you hit that star button and you put your PIN code in, changes the class of service of that extension to whatever your PIN's class of service is.
So that overrides your.
That overrides the phone's class of service. Okay. So that extension will be able to make a speed dial call without punching in his PIN, and he'll be able to make an outside call by punching in his PIN. Everyone happy? What else does our client want, people? Come, what's the problems you'll have on site? You guys are dealing with clients every day.
Coffee.
Can't help you there. System doesn't make coffee.
When you go back to 724, 601, to explain the hunting time and off time.
601. Okay, so station groups. Okay, 601. Station groups. Okay, does somebody want to help him out, please? Come, people, somebody help the man out. I says no takers, but. Okay, yeah, you've got a taker. Yeah.
Client wants it to go from, switchboard doesn't answer,
Mm-hmm.
send it to the sales group.
Okay.
If the sales group doesn't answer, one of the extensions in the sales group, it must go to that person as a senior person. So it goes to an all-ring group.
Okay.
If nobody answers, it goes to the manager. If the manager's
Okay.
not there, they want that call to transfer to the cell phone.
Okay.
So we already got a problem, we solved
Yeah,
that all the way
that's
there.
what I was playing all the
Huh?
time.
Okay. I'm just checking if there's anything else because you kind of made that a bit of a complicating one. Okay. So it rings at the switchboard. Switchboard doesn't answer. It must ring all the extensions in the company.
Well, yeah.
Okay, a group of 4 extensions. Okay. So ring mode for the switchboard. The call is going to come in. We got the switchboard in there. You're happy. That's the way it must ring.
Yeah.
How long must it ring there before it gets to the other group? 3 seconds. 30 seconds. Okay, Colin. Let's go here to overflow time first. Make that 30. I actually think it will accept that without a problem. Okay? Next spot. Yeah. Yeah, that one. Let's push it to the 501 group. Let's push it here. Okay. Let's go to the 501 group now, under members. And what? 202, 203, 204. Okay. So let's put those members in there. 202, 203, and 204. Okay. So it must ring all of those at the same time. This group set up correctly, guys? Okay, perfect. Onto the top, sequential, change that to unconditional. One more, yeah. Right. Once it rings this group, how long must it ring this group?
10 seconds.
Okay, and then what must it do?
Then it must go to the manager's extension, 205.
205, okay. Can we just use 260 because we don't have a 205 on this one? Okay. Okay, so then we're going to say next spot, put in 260. Huh? You got a 1 backspace, 260. Okay, but our overflow time you said, sorry, 30 seconds as well.
Oh, 10, yeah, 30 is fine.
Okay, 30 seconds there. Okay. Are we happy that call comes in, it's going to ring to this group? If it's not answered within 30 seconds of this group, it's going to flow to this group. It's going to ring for 30 seconds at this group, and then it's going to go to extension 260. Are we all in happiness with that? Okay, save that. Okay, so now we got a call ringing at extension 260. What did you want it to do then?
Doesn't get answered, forward it out to a cell phone.
Okay, so let's go to 102. Up. I don't know where your mouse is. It's probably on the other screen, yeah. Yeah, there we are back. Okay, here and up. Right. sorry, I'm a shorter.
Sorry, before you jump there,
Yeah.
you've got overflow time, I understand. What's transfer time for?
Transfer time is if you, Colin, just drop down the group type on the top. Down, down, down. Okay, there. Click there. Okay, can you see you got different groups here?
Yeah.
You got a normal group, you got a voicemail group, you got an UCD group. Now, let's say we choose it as a UCD group. And we put a whole lot of extensions in this group. That hunt time is the time it'll hunt from one extension to the next extension in that group. So if I set it for 10 seconds, the call, let's say it's in this group here, the call will ring 202 for 10 seconds. When 202 doesn't answer, it'll jump to 203. It'll ring there for 10 seconds. And then it'll jump to the next one and ring for 10 seconds. Okay. Okay, so, right, let's go out of here. We were going to 102 on top. 1, yes. And 2. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one.
Click it. Again, never.
Right, now go to call forwarding. Click there. Okay. Sorry, we pushed to do 260.
Yeah.
So at 260, click down there. Okay, we got all, busy, no answer, DND, follow me set.
No answer.
Okay, no answer. So go to no answer. Yeah, that one. Now, it has made it. What goes in there? The TS number. Sorry? 0 for a line, yes.
Now you have to put it by
You're on 263 at the moment.
and
Okay, so
no answer.
TS, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to look at the top menu. See there, all forward, busy forward, no answer forward, do and D forward. So you have to choose the right forward. So which forward did we choose? No answer. So we have to go to the no answer there, yes. What do we put in the TS number? 0, which is your trunk number or station number. Outgoing digits is the cell number or whatever number you want it forwarded to. Okay. Okay, so I've sorted your problem out now. Who's next?
Sorry, they're saying there's a small company, the receptionist's got to go out to do something, so there's no one there.
Yes.
So program a DS button to forward to a mobile phone.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
And set up that forward.
Okay, is everyone happy that this is going to work?
No.
Why?
Because
What times?
In the station groups. It's 30 seconds, 30 seconds.
What trunks have we set up on the system?
Excuse me?
What trunks have we set up on the system? No, what's the trunks that we've got? We've got analog trunks on there. Huh? We've only got analog at this point.
That's going to cut off after 50 seconds.
No. It's actually going to run for 20 minutes now.
It's going to take 10 seconds before.
It's going to take some time before it forwards off. But it's going to hold that call for 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, you have to set it off over 1.
Because that's the default, it's 20 minutes. Analog trunks do not send a disconnect tone back. So the system never knows when either party is put down on that call. If you had ISDN or SIP, no issues with that. But analog forwarding to analog does not have a disconnect. The system does not know when either party is put down. So it's going to hold that line open for 20 minutes, being the default trunk to trunk time. So what do we have to do?
Change it in 501.
Okay, what do you change it to?
3 minutes for 3 minutes for customers.
Okay, so 3 minutes. I change it to 3 minutes.
And after
But
3
the
minutes,
client's still talking in that period. What happens then?
then I cut off.
Yes, I'm going to have a pissed off client on my hand.
Well, you tell him beforehand.
Exactly. There's nothing we can do about it. We just have to explain to the client that, listen, Mr. Client, this is the story. So if you know it's a forwarded call from your company, which you should know because when the call comes in, it's going to come in with your company number on it. Make the person on the other side aware that this call is going to last for that period of time, get his details rather before it cuts the call, and you got a pissed off client on your hand. So you can tell the client, you tell me now, how long do you want me to set for? But remember, if you tell me leave it for 20 minutes, that's fine, but 2 of your lines are going to be held for that 20 minutes. Won't necessarily be billed for 20 minutes, but it will be held for that 20 minutes. If you've only got 3 lines on the system, you're screwed.
So the TMS will show it as a 20-minute call.
The TMS will show it as a 20-minute call, but from Telkom's billing side, they actually do know that call is terminated.
Could this be forwarded to a VoIP extension as well?
Yeah, it can be forwarded to whatever, VoIP, whatever it is. But remember, for VoIP, it would then have to have, no, actually, it can be forwarded to VoIP extension. But if it's forwarded to a VoIP extension, it'll actually work better. Because a VoIP actually knows when the call is terminated, so it'll actually terminate the call. So you don't have to worry about the analog timer then. Okay? So that was all I wanted to explain there. You have to just make sure that you explain to your client about the timer. And don't just set it and walk away, because it's going to hold that call for 20 minutes. You're going to tie up 2 of the lines immediately for 20 minutes. It's 501 or 502. Just go down to 50. More. Ah, you're far off. Go. Gone too far now. Yeah, raise it. Just check 501. I think it's actually 502. Yeah, it's 502. Yeah.
But the CO disconnect time.
Yeah.
I think it's 501.
Where is it?
Go up one. Yeah. No, one a little down. Yeah, there. Confirm disconnect no action. I think it's 7. Yeah. CO time. Oh, CO disconnect time. That one. See, it's defaulted on 20 minutes. And guys, when you're working, especially with the timers, check the brackets. Sometimes it's in milliseconds, sometimes it's in seconds, sometimes it's in minutes. So you know what, if you're assuming it was seconds, like this one, it's actually minutes. So just double check the brackets, please.
It's also where you set up the timers for the application as well.
Sorry?
You set the timers for the application logout time.
Yeah. I hate actually when people do that. Because I'll just go check something quickly, like if I need to see what the IP address is so I can log in from the application. I'll walk from the server room on the other end of the company, get to the switchboard, quickly just log in, check the IP address, okay, lacquer, walk all the way back there to realize switchboard is still freaking in. God, walk all the way back there just to log it out. So yeah. But again, today with the guys using PCs more, I don't think anybody really worries about changing that timer. Okay, so are you all happy now that our forward works? Because I'm not. Any reason why you all think I'm not? CO to CO forward on the system is not defaulted on. So you need to actually put that on. You said it is?
You switch it on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, where?
The 210.
210, Colin? Okay, talk Colin through it.
I think it's just up there.
Now down to, oh, sorry, yeah, it's 2 here. Now you've gone past it now. Up more. No up. Yeah, 2. No, one more down. Yeah. One more down. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Okay, 210. not to 10.
Why does it repeat itself like that?
What do you mean?
There are different MMCs that use the same.
Yeah, because on your MMCs before, it was broken up into various things. Now, with the DM tool, it incorporated a lot of things into one page, but it still left the codes for the other ones there. It opens up the same page if you actually open up that, that device or that menu.
No, I think it's just go to the last one, station phone group option.
Station phone group option.
Yeah.
Yep. Double click. No, no. Trunk to trunk forward on.
Yeah, that's intercom external forward. UCD forward. Look up options, go there. Yeah, there. So you see that one that says intercom external forward.
This one here.
That's the one.
Okay. Do you all know what that's for?
Yeah, so when the call comes in from into a switchboard, it'll be forwarded. Now
Internal.
to
Internal call.
Allows you to pick up that 0.
No, an internal call. So if a call is sent to you internally, must it still forward? Yeah. So externally it'll forward, but internally it says somebody from within the company is phoning. Must I forward it or not?
But we didn't ask for that. You didn't.
No, I did.
You didn't ask for that.
It won't go out. That's why my client wouldn't work, because I never.
Okay, so even if somebody tries it internally, you want to follow that.
No, it's to push the external call out again. If you don't have that on, what happens is you get to the phone, and when it's try to forward it out, it just dies there. And then you sit like a cockeroni.
Yeah, but if someone internally phones that 260,
it's also going to forward.
It's going to forward.
It's
Where you
going to
said
forward
that.
to the sub.
So internally when they phone.
Yeah.
Does this allow both? It allows the internal calls to be forwarded and allows you to forward it.
No. It allows internal calls to be forward.
So that doesn't answer his question.
Okay. There's still trunk to trunk forward that needs to be switched on. Okay. Okay.
So you've got to do this.
Okay. Just go to 400 for me. Go down. 400. Trunk on off. Yeah. Okay, here's it here. It's actually on, sorry, on default. Okay,
So by default, it's on.
yeah. Okay, now it'll work, yeah. Okay, sorry, there was another one that before we went back to this one, there was someone that asked a question.
Now you program the DS button, so that the person, you just push that and then forward it to his cell phone.
Okay. Okay, so you want the operator to forward her phone off to a cell phone. Okay? Any suggestions on how we do that?
So you take yourself off the 500 group,
Why?
otherwise you can't forward yourself.
Yes.
Or you can go to straight to 102 and forward it from there.
You can't
A switchboard operator, she's automatically, in this case, sitting in the 500 group. You cannot do a call forward from an extension that's within that group because it's actually calling a group. It's not calling that particular extension. So even if you put a call forward on her phone, it's not going to forward off because it's ringing the 500 group. So we need to do two things in this case. For that to operate, we have to actually put the incoming call to go to 201 and not the 500 group. And then we do a call forward on 201. Okay, and then the call forward, you said you wanted as a DS button. Okay, so let's go to, firstly, let's 406. Okay, do we have to do 406? You understand the, okay. So we don't do everyone understands what we were supposed to do in 406. Okay, so let's go to 722. It's here. Yeah. Yeah, when my finger is fuck off, man. Yeah. Okay, station key. A little bit lower, yeah.
Okay, but that'll only work if there's one switchboard in a group.
Yes.
If there's two switchboards, you do.
If there's two switchboards, then what do we do?
Would you program a phantom and forward the phantom to a...
No, I just program one of the class of services to be class of service 3 as the DSS button. That phone of hers will be permanently on a forward. So when when you actually put it into that class of service, the call is directed to 201. 201 is on the forward and automatically works out. Okay. So we're going to take button number 3 and make that our forward button. So go to 3. So yeah, I'll program a separate ring plan as that, and you leave her phone on permanent forward to this thing, because when she's in the other plans, it's ringing to the 500 group, no issue. And ring plan 3, as soon as she puts it into ring plan 3, automatically calls the ring to 201 and gets forwarded out to herself. Okay, so what are we looking for there now? What do we want to do forward? So go down to F. Up. Forward. Right, and what do we do there? Anyone?
Extension number 201.
No, we're on 201.
201, so it needs to go.
Hmm?
Zero. What are we trying to do here? We're trying to forward.
Forward phone to a cell phone.
0 and then the number.
Try it.
Just put a 3 there. Put a 3 there. No, just say it.
What?
Just put a 3
Actually,
there.
it's 5, I think.
The external was 5.
Yeah. 5. Enter.
Go back to 102 and explain why you didn't call.
Yeah. Okay. Go to 102.
Open.
Yeah. Go up. Right. Call forward 102. Okay, 201. Can you see here? You got forward types there. Click on. Yeah, one more below. Yeah. Can you see you got all these forwards here? All busy, no answer, whatever the case may be. Each one of those is actually got a number attached to it.
So all is fine.
Forward all is 5. No, forward external is 5.
That's not listed there.
Yeah, it's not listed here.
So we will.
That's why 3 will work, because you've got 3 set like that, but it doesn't do that
Yeah.
in the field. Yeah.
Okay, so let's set it and let's try it on the phone. Let's see what happens.
It's set already.
No, did you set it? Go up to the, there's the station key on the top. Okay, you've saved it. On button 3. So let's go to the phone and push button 3. And let's see what it does. Enter forward number. So you enter the number, and that's what the forward is set to.
You can change that number anytime you want.
3 will also work.
Yeah. Sorry?
If you put 3, it will also work.
Let's change it to 3.
Because you already put 3 there and the number.
Okay, save it. Saved. No, must program no answer forward. So 3 is asking for no answer.
Can you program it?
Hmm?
No,
What
there's
extension
nothing
number are you on?
programmed.
That's the 1. Go back to 102.
Forward 1
Mhm.
takes all. Forward 2, no answer. Forward 3, when busy. 4, it combines 1 and 2.
Okay.
2 and 3. 5 is when do not disturb. So the forward.
So we should actually do 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
External to an external is no longer there. That is what
Yeah, it used to be
older version.
used to be 5 for external, so it's no more longer there. So we have to do a call forward all, which is 1.
Or do not disturb.
Yeah, but then she has to put a phone on to do another stuff. Okay, so we'll just give it as an all call forward.
Because I have a customer, I want to be full of shit now. I want that phone to use the code.
A code? A PIN code?
PIN code.
Okay. Ah, you think you're going to catch me here?
Yeah?
Okay, guys, what do you think we should do? We're going to put a PIN code on that, and the reason he's bringing this up is because then he's not going to do the call forward. He's going to tell me to stuff off.
Yeah.
What do we do? Can I answer that for you? I'll then put her cell number into the speed dial and do a speed dial forward. I'll forward to a speed dial number.
Can you?
Yeah. So I've just overcome your forwarding problem. Remember how we set our PIN codes
Yeah.
to use a speed dial?
Yeah.
Just do that setup on that phone.
But can you put a spindle into that?
Yeah. You put
You just make that
the digits
speed.
that you put in.
Yeah.
You just put 16 and the location number. You put the speed dial number into your forward, and it works.
I thought that would do it.
Works. Works. Trust me.
Okay.
Okay. Or on that same class of service where you got a speed dial,
Yeah.
and we'll help you out now with your allow table. Put a full number into the allow table. It'll allow the call out. And then that class of service. Okay. There's many ways of playing around and getting things to work. Okay.
I've done exactly this and it didn't work.
What, for a forward?
For the forward.
Did you change it to the extension number as opposed to the group number?
I haven't done that.
No, it won't work.
Then it won't work. As soon as you change it to the extension number, guarantee you it'll be up and running.
But then your grouping won't work.
Yeah, okay, so now, like we said, we got more than one switchboard operator, so it's in a group. There's nothing I can do about that. But operator 2 didn't come to work today, so I'm the only one here, and I'm going out. I want to forward the calls. What do we do? Create a different ring plan, where she has to now change her class of service to class of service 3, 4, whatever one you created. And then under that ring plan, all the calls ring to 201 and not the group, and then the forward works again. Okay, she has to press a few extra buttons now, but simple and easy. Okay, check how helpful this is. We're solving your problems here. What else? What else the client wants now? Totally blocked. Mustn't receive calls, mustn't make calls. Okay, so he's just excluded from all lines. Okay. Anyone got any suggestion for his client?
So just block all out them,
Sorry?
just for internal calls.
Only internal calls. He can't even receive calls from the outside world.
Then you go to the 301, make that extension to the highest class of service.
But
That'll
internal
block me
calls-
from outside, from making calls out.
But then you can DND,
You make
But D&D you won't receive internal calls as well.
but do they want internal calls?
Yeah, they want the internal calls.
The lady, she wants to receive calls.
Okay, I haven't had that one, but I'm going to take a crack at it. Okay, I'm assuming you've had it and solved it. Okay, I will obviously look at trunk, extension trunk usage.
Trunk access, yes.
Yes. So is that how you solved it?
Special class of service, go to the trunk access, go deny access.
Yeah.
Receive call,
Okay.
614.
Yeah, 614. 614 and 304, I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone understand that one? Okay. You want to talk Colin through it so he can run through it there quickly?
Okay, go to 701.
Down. More down. Yep, yep. No, I'm not falling for that one again. You lost the mouse. Check, it's probably on that screen. Yeah.
Okay. Go down, well, let's say choose number G, which is 7.
Okay, we're going to use G7. Right.
So we're going to use G. 7.
Yeah, that one.
Go down all the way.
No, page down.
Go down all the way on that column.
No, page down is, that goes quite far down actually. The middle one on the mouse column.
Or just drag it down on the left hand side. Just drag down the slider.
So G now, we're in G.
Yeah, you can still see it's 7.
So you deny all the trunk groups. Or you can just, if there's only one trunk group, you just deny the first.
Yeah. Okay, so the trunk groups are here, starting from here. So click on that and say no.
But making double sure. Deny all the trunk groups there.
One more down.
One more down.
Yeah, there.
That'll become a no.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, it becomes a no.
And save it. You can do it for all the trunk groups that's on the system. But, okay.
Okay, so you make it all no.
All of them.
Yeah. Yes.
Any more?
It's fine. You all understand we make it all no. Sorry.
The lady said the food must be eaten whilst it's not cold.
Is it here already? Okay.
Okay, go to 614.
It's on the same, you didn't have to move. Port use. Okay, this is the problem that we said. See, that one you didn't save.
Yeah. 614 you said?
Yeah, the port use group. Double click.
Then let's choose the extension. Let's say 210.
210.
Down. Give it a different number. Let's say
2.
Okay. Save. And close.
And close.
If you close, you have to say that.
Okay, then go to 304. And then just make it also.
No, down, down. No click.
304.
Okay, both of them you're going to have to do.
So go to the first one first.
Yeah.
And what did we make it?
We made it 2 and the trunks are all defaulted in 101.
2, you say no.
Yeah. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, make it go there.
Okay, do you all understand this table?
Yeah.
Okay. And then save it. And go to that one.
Also make it no. You're not allowing it to dial and you're not allowing it
To receive
answer,
as well.
and you block it from the trunk group access as well.
Same thing, make it no.
So in theory, it shouldn't
Yeah.
receive the call at all.
At all. Okay. Okay, guys, before we go on, they actually have told us that the food is here and it's warm now, so preferably let's break for lunch. It is, so we'll break for an hour. So let's call it 20 past 1. Let's be back in.